Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going, man?
Good, good. How's it going?
Good, good. All things aside, with yesterday and everything.
Oh God, so much to say, so little to. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, the U.S. is not looking too hot right now.
Oh God. Well, thankfully you're in Cali at least.
Yeah.
All right. Let me adjust this here. You can hear me okay? Is that right?
yeah, I can hear you just fine. I just have it a little bit higher, but it's fine. Yeah.
How about now? Same?
Sounds the same. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally good. Are you streaming already, or if not, I'm gonna make some snarky comments to your tweet.
I'm already streaming, but nobody's on yet. So,
Okay.
but
All good.
up to
I'll
you.
retweet. I'll retweet that shit.
Yeah, I just
Uh,
I just logged on and then I got your message and by the way, the stream can hear it, but I don't think anybody's on, so it's not a big deal.
Oh,
Um,
it's okay. I haven't said anything incriminating yet. I'm a secret blue lover, you know.
but yeah, so I don't know if you're on the so you can be on the Twitch too if you want to respond
I,
to comments or whatnot. But I'll probably just
uh,
introduce you in whenever you're ready, I guess.
yeah, so I'm just gonna sit up. I'll probably watch the stream in silence. So if there's any hecklers coming my way, I'll heckle back. But I'll probably just like watch through your shared list. But
Sure.
uh,
So I guess what I can do right now is just give the audience a brief intro of who you are. So this is Jonathan Zhang, aka Final Noob on Twitter. He's best known for essentially pioneering the what's it called Neo brand archetype in modern. I know him mostly as the guy who put me in contact with people who play Green White Reclaimer in Modern, and that helped me out for big time for the Mox event. He also is a great drafter, and I know I've bounced off ideas off of him with regards to Zendikar draft. So that's kind of how I know him. He's most known for a Neo brand. Anything you want to add?
no, I think calling myself a great drafter is pretty stretching it. But I'm glad I got to follow your progress. I live like a bit vicariously through you because I've been taking a lot of time off competitive play, but I'm still like a competitive guy, and I was like following up peripherally. So yeah, just again, like I think it's like super like amazing that you picked up a draft format cold, from not playing the draft period like 2-1ing and then just like taking third place in a highly prestigious and like extremely competitive, like one of the highest level competition, like on highest stake events. So it's pretty cool.
Thank
Green Light Titan, it's not my jam, but I'm glad you made it work.
yeah, I know you're more of a turn one guy instead of a turn, I guess 4 or 5 guy. But
I don't know. I don't know what turn four is, so you'll have to teach me today. Grinding out the visionary loops and
yeah, yeah. So
uh,
this, so that I was gonna get to that, Jonathan. So I have the screen open. You're already viewing it, I think. So
yeah.
we joke a lot that, especially with Jarvis Yu, if he's around or whatnot, if he ever sees this or somebody wants to relay it to him, but we like we like to joke that everything is Splinter Twin, and essentially with this deck, Wirewood Symbiote and Elvish Visionary Splinter Twin, and Jonathan is a master of identifying the Splinter Twin situation. So
I
I'll,
see.
uh, I'll leave it to him to identify once we either can set it up or already have it assembled. And essentially, these 4 Green Sun Zeniths are a wild card, right? It can represent either A or B in the combination. And Jonathan is
One
no
per
stranger
turn.
to a combination deck.
Yes, exactly. I look forward to it, and my modern followers know how much I yearn for Alcerus Shepherd. When I got spoiled, I was like literally losing my fucking shit. It's like, okay, well, this is gonna make a modern tier Neoform tiered zero, but alas, it was not supplemental products. Like, oh fuck me.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, this card is not modern legal. It's funny too because I only played one copy initially. I know people give me a hard time because they think it should be more than one copy, and I think I agree now. at the time I didn't feel like it was necessary because the play pattern out of Delver especially was different, and Chalice isn't particularly popular at the moment because it's kind of held down by Oko. But I think right now it's pretty good given the play pattern of Delver and how they like to force my turn one play. So that means when I don't open up with a Green Sun or Reclaimer, or if I just want to bait out removal because Reclaimer is better against Delver than Shepherd in my opinion, then I can just lead with it. So that's pretty nice. I think in your honor, because we all know that you like to beat blue decks, I'm going to go ahead and play this card today.
Evil laugh. Let's go.
So I think it's only fitting that we play Boseiju, given that you're the guest on this stream today. And once again, I want to point out to the chat that Jonathan's a super cool guy that, without his help, essentially, and I would not have been able to, finish third in the Mox event because he put me in the right people. He put me in contact with the right people for a green white reclaimer, and shout out to those mentors for me as well. But also just going through some Zendikar drafts, him looking at my real rough list initially, and then as it got better, so we saw progress. And then shout out to Jarvis and Kelvin from my LGS. Kelvin, my LGS is Spellhold, by the way. They helped me out as well with the draft portion. But
That's pretty cool, and I think you're severely selling yourself short, but I'm glad I could do.
I mean, I like to think I'm always in the right place at the right time. I tell that to my wife a lot, where I just happen to meet her at the right place, right time. I'm definitely marrying up, so. So I think without further ado, go ahead.
Yeah, I think like being in the right place, right time. Like I think like luck and intuition are like actually like a function of one's experience and skills. Like I don't think these things happen by accident, in my opinion. But that's another story for another day. I digress.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I've had somebody else tell me that, so maybe I'm doing something right. I like to think that, but you know what they say: always better lucky than good, right?
Better lucky than good. Let's go.
So how? Go ahead.
I'm somewhat eating dinner since I've just come back from work and whatnot, but I might be a bit intermittent. But please, like, I'll definitely. I'm still watching and all that, just to let you guys know.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, chat. He'll be in and out just based on because he's on dinner, and he's been nice enough to join me right now. So I know he just came back from work. So any questions where he may be dealing with dinner or whatnot, I can also answer relay to him in case. But it'll be a good learning experience for both him and me, since you always learn more when you go through lines with another person, or in this case, a chat as well. But Jonathan is. Go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry, I keep cutting you off, but I just want to like remark, like, like we keep talking about the 2019, 2020 Magic power creep, but I'm like highly impressed by like Elvish Reclaimer, which has been like a modern staple, and I'm impressed to see. But I'm somewhat surprised to see it like be a legacy staple, but not at all. And Alethor's Shepherd, like it's like one of the highest like power level card at a face value, and I'm like really happy that it has found a very good home. So just wanted to comment, I guess.
Yeah. So this Reclaimer, I think, is a card. It's funny too because I think it's like M20, so technically it's a 2019 card, but I think it's kind of under the radar, especially in Legacy. I know it's a modern powerhouse, but I think whenever a card just has so much text, I think it's worth trying to fit in, especially since in this case it's
one mana, and like can like it has like a lot of stats and has like a utility that was not seen in modern because it doesn't have crop rot. But so I guess like yeah, it was a bit of a erring like evaluation that we didn't see a home to it. But also Dryad of the Elysian Grove obviously is another thing. It's PR.
Yeah, I mean, anytime somebody mulls to 4 or 5, I already get nervous because I just assume I'm gonna get turn 1, and in this case, my intuition was correct. Not much I could have done, especially on the draw here. So I'm just gonna lead with more. I mean, they probably expect me to be on elves, to be honest, but being on the draw, I don't think there's much we could have done here. We can just hope that they miss, essentially. If they have the reanimate or the land for the turn 2 reanimation, there's not really much we can do.
Yeah,
Uh,
so maybe I can take a crack at like what our game plan is. Like, I'm happy for you to like correct me as I'm spewing like wrong information because um, I guess like for my modern followers, I guess like I've been actually a pretty intent follower of elves like for a while. So I do somewhat know how it works and all that, but I assume this matchup got better with Archon Flowers Reach, and game one it's either a race to the kill through natural order,
uh-huh.
Crater Rift, or like a glimpse, or like a fast Archon on Sorcery, I guess, which shuts off 8 out of 12 of their reanimation. So maybe you can provide a bit more insight on.
Sure, sure. Archon is nice if you can get to it. The problem is they do have 4 animate death that gets around it. I actually boarded out after game one, and my logic is if you have it in hand and they can reanimate your own Archon with the discard spell, and that's actually locked me out before, so it's actually a little bit dangerous too, um, because they name sorcery and that shuts off all of our relevant cards. The
Yikes.
the other, although less of an issue now with Shepard because you have a way to win. The second thing I want to mention is Archon. There's an interesting backstory with that card because it was legal in paper, but it didn't actually get implemented on Moto for a long time because they just did not assume those. I forgot what kind of card it was, but whatever that set it came from.
Or whatever, Battle Bond, I don't know.
Battle Bond, exactly right. They didn't assume that any of those cards would be relevant in Legacy, and that ended up being wrong. So I got to play Deathrite actually alongside Archon for a brief, for one event actually at my local store, and that was kind of probably one of the heights of for me as with regards to deck construction for elves because I think the only time power level wise it was maybe higher is when Lurrus was legal, and I mean I think that card needs no introduction, right?
It's a literal multi-format All-Star. Children of Corals. Does that indicate that they're on like the Tendrils Eric Landon hybrid finish? Or is it
Yes, it
something?
does. It does. Unfortunately, there's no
Well,
way.
yeah.
What? Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like Tim Fins does not play BR. I think Tim Fin is like UB, so
Mhm.
I think it's just like a finisher thing. If I may guess here, my guess would have been like the one way we can win is like a glimpse chain with like if we draw like a Cradle or like a Metal Sentinel, go from there. I don't think we're drawing dead. Is that right?
We're not drawing dead, but they have to whiff, and I think it's gonna be hard. Like, uh, what does happen a lot too is sometimes these reanimator players get too greedy, and they just die when they don't need to. But I believe we're probably dead because of the Children of Corliss here.
I can relate because like I play Neoform to win, right? Like I've
Mhm.
like almost like top 8 at various events. I started 11-1 at GP Hogak
Mhm.
2 years ago. Like for example, like why didn't they just like entomb Elishnorn or Iona? Do they not play that in main deck?
As far
Maybe
as
it's
I
not.
know, once Eric Landon went to this Children of Corliss kill, I believe they cut those flex spots.
Okay, so I guess their thought is like they don't need a toolbox as much as they want to be like a streamlined line as possible, which makes sense. As a combo player, I'm very much in support of not playing one side.
Yeah, I believe I heard him say in hindsight it was kind of silly for him to try to get value out of the deck when you could just win with tendrils. The other thing is Caracas is kind of an issue now, so they just want to win the same turn, from what I understand.
Do they still play archetype, or is that not a thing? Is that focused purely on finishing, basically?
I believe they don't play archetype anymore because the goal, I guess, so to speak, is just to kill now instead of just getting cute, so to speak. So they actually, while they have to play more slots for the tendrils kill, they also save on some of those flex spots. So I think it's a net even with regards to how many slots are being used, if that makes
That makes
sense. Because yeah, they lose some main board slots, but they also gain some sideboard slots that they don't need to play anymore. So we're dead here. Like I
yeah.
said, there's not really much we can do about this matchup game one specifically. We have to be on the play with turn one reclaimer. That's pretty much the only way we steal this. And even then, if you don't know what they're on, you can accidentally tap out and play the wrong thing. So
Right.
you want to take a guess how I would board here?
So let me look at the Twitch because like the Discord is a bit fuzzy.
Okay, sure.
So Thoughtseize in Crop Raw for Bazooka. You have a Bazooka box somewhere, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's in the main.
Thoughtseize in two Crop Rot, and I don't think they have hate. I think they more have like anti-hate. I would guess that those six cards would be in on the right, and I would start trimming. Like I would trim the Archon as you said, maybe like trim between like Shepherd because like Shepherd's not very good in this matchup, and then maybe like Once Upon a Time here and there. Although Once Upon a Time I'm skeptical of cutting because of like it can find the Bazooka Bog and all that. So that's my guess, I guess.
Okay, so you're not too far off. Like as far as bringing in, you were almost right on the nail. What I started to do recently is bring in Collector Oof too. It's like a little fringe, but I think it's still better than a Visionary or a Wirewood because these are typically grinding cards, and I board them out for combo matchups where speed matters, like where you don't really care about grinding. Uh, and with regards to Once Upon a Time, I typically don't board the card out at all. I used to when I first started experimenting with the card when it got released. The issue is it's kind of the mana base is kind of built with it in mind. Like I cut a land, and even with that said, my mana base is probably more conservative than most. I'm playing the same amount of lands as everybody else, but I have through Once Upon a Time as well, and that's not even including Bog, which is like 0.25 or half a land because it doesn't produce green, but you can still fetch it away with Reclaimer. And the reason why
That's
Shepherd is go ahead.
No, sorry, that's fair, but keep going on with Shepherd.
Oh, the reason why Shepherd is better than like a Visionary or a Wirewood is because it's one mana. Like speed is all that matters in this kind of a matchup, and it is a little bit fringe, but does come up. It beats Chancellor too. That's reanimated.
Huh.
They shouldn't be going for Chancellor, but people do strange things sometimes, or they have no
Like
choice.
sometimes they're like multi-four like is like they're priced into it, so it's like a small part of their range, but still part of their range nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. This we have to mull.
The hand so close.
Yeah, it was really close. This we also have to mull. So
I
we
guess we're
might.
looking for a range of like fast kill, fast glimpse, or like natural order field kill, or like a reclaimer, I guess.
We're looking for a Reclaimer or a Thoughtseize. Ugh. I guess we have to keep because we have Crop Rot here. Actually, I think we want to keep the Cradle just in case. Actually, I think this other land might be better than Cradle. Actually, oops. So it's not looking too hot for us at the moment, but we did mull to a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking like we got to high roll a bit here, and Cradle needs like a critical mass and all that, so
Right, right,
I
right.
could like yeah mulling away.
Like I don't think other I may it's possible I missed it in the other hands, but I don't think we saw crop rotation in the other hands, and we need essentially turn one or turn two hate. So that has to be Reclaimer on the play, Thoughtseize, or a crop rotation. And it was just a little bit unfortunate we didn't draw we didn't see any of those cards in our previous hands, or we saw the Thoughtseize, but then we didn't have a green source.
So a way I guess like since I'm like a combo player, like first and foremost, like a way I like to think about it is like
Oh, that's
yikes.
brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like to think about it as like what is the fundamental turn. Like for example, I'm not sure how familiar you are with like humans,
Hmm.
modern humans, but they have like 12 like hate pairs at turn two between Kite Sail, Thalia, and Meddling Mage. So
Hmm.
I would say like for example, if I'm playing combo, the fundamental turn is um, before reaching their turn two. So I guess like what is our fundamental? I would guess that our fundamental turn is the turn one disruption, or maybe turn three goldfish. Is that like kind of close to what we're looking for?
So the goldfish is never going to be fast enough in this matchup. Like their fundamental turn is turn two, and they can do turn one a lot of times, but realistically turn two. So that means either Thoughtseize or on the play Reclaimer is good enough.
It's not such a surprise that like this is like traditionally like a bad matchup.
Historically, one of the worst, yeah, for elves. In fact, it may be worth. We're probably going to concede pretty soon. We can watch the replay real quick because it doesn't take too much time just to evaluate the opening hands. But I don't believe I saw any keepable hand earlier.
Yeah, I definitely. I think people like Magic players definitely don't review their games enough because like poker, for example, the people who are playing seriously like definitely do hand
Mm-hmm.
reviews a lot more. So as an aside, like that's something I think competitive players should do more.
Mm-hmm. So like, I think what's useful is we're evaluating the decision in real time, but then um, if this was higher stakes, for instance, I would probably play a little bit slower, but you want to be able to have right instincts too, and you do that by playing faster. All right, so we are likely dead, but we'll just see. Um, like we said, this historically is a hard matchup. It's better with a ley line sideboard, but unfortunately, we don't have that luxury at the moment because I want to play crop rotation uh, because it means I can leave it in against Delver, and we want to be able to beat a Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is public enemy number one, in my opinion, right now. So I think we can probably just pack it in, just to save everybody time.
All good. I mean,
So,
it's a tournament. It's not draft, so there's definitely always going to be like lopsided matches. That's totally.
okay, so let's take a look. Uh, yeah, you cannot keep this. There's no disruption. Can't keep that either.
Is that like a? Is this like turn three goldfish? Like I know that we said turn three is like not that good.
This one right here.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's
Yeah, this is like a turn three goldfish, which
okay.
is not fast enough, and yeah, not fast enough. Yeah, I mean, there's this one you can chance and just once upon a time. Like, there's an argument to do that, but yeah, I think it's almost the
Given that
same.
given that a four of Once Upon a Time is like a 33%er divided by four, that's like 8% of a bog. Like I highly doubt that you can.
Yeah, I think it's better we just went down one more because like it's we only have four relevant hits off the Once Upon a Time, and I rather increase my number of hits to Thoughtseize and Crop as well. Given that we have four of Thoughtseize and two Crop.
Right.
Uh,
I think that was like totally fine.
yeah. So I don't think like I said like we just got a little bit unlucky there. We expect to lose game one to Reanimator, but we didn't like given the hands that we had. We should have seen a Thoughtseize or Reclaimer much earlier, and we just happened not to. And I guess with
Uh,
the first opening seven, we didn't. We drew the. We had the Thoughtseize, but not. We didn't have a green source.
so while we wait, maybe like you can kind of like prime me in on like what kind of like in generic terms what kind of opening hand requirements you have.
Sure. In general, in the past, at least pre-London Mool, I would definitely keep anything that has lands and spells. Like, and the reason being is, unlike some of the other combo decks, um, Elves is similar to Storm in the sense that it's a critical mass combo deck. So you don't really want to go low on cards. And it's you have the grind ability of Wirewood Symbiote and a and Elvish Visionary, so that's pretty much twin right there, right? So you can afford for the game to go late, but you don't really want to mull to 5 or 6 because having the extra card in this type of deck matters a lot.
I guess
Traditionally, go ahead.
so sorry. So I guess like the key cards are like Credo, turn one Llanowar Elf, like Glimpse and Glimpse and Match Order, I guess.
Yeah, that's not too far off from an ideal hand. Like we don't have Landlord Elves anymore, but Green Sun essentially does the same thing. Yeah, ideally your hand is like two lands, one of which is a Cradle, maybe a Green Sun, Glimpse, Kyrian Ranger, or a Wirewood Symbiote, because that means you can threaten a Glimpse on turn two. That's like a pretty close to an ideal hand. Oh my goodness, it's the same player.
This again.
Yeah. At least we have the turn one Reclaimer this time. Or it's probably too slow, but I think we have to keep and hope they have a slow hand. But
That's
I
fair.
I think given that they know what we're on to, I'm pretty sure we're dead.
So the way they can beat an active. Oh well, that's fucked. The way they can beat an active Reclaimer, I guess, is like Exhume and have an Entomb up after the block, I guess.
Uh, yes. Well, because I only need to respond once they have a reanimation spell. So they would need actually two reanimation spells and two pitch spells to be able to get there.
Well, if they have a Grizzlebrand in the graveyard already, they only need like Exhume and another Entomb, right?
Yes, but then overall it'd be two of each, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, they took the Glimpse. What the? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not gonna
That's
matter.
Yeah.
I think we can just pack this in. Like we just got. It's kind of unfortunate. Like I don't think on stream before now, I had ever. Well, let's do this first. So against the non-blue decks, I like to fetch first. Against the blue decks, I want to give them the opportunity to force this because sometimes they mistakenly do it.
You've told me, and it doesn't matter because the net deckers always get like bailed out by Arcanist, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of times, it's funny they make the wrong play, but then they have turn two Arcana, so it doesn't matter that they made the wrong play. If anything, it's actually a little bit tilting too because I used to keep hand. Well, I still do, I guess. I used to not get punished for keeping zero land hands and Once Upon a Time, but because they're like randomly forcing my Once Upon a Times now, it has made me lose games because of that. Which is funny if you think about it. It's almost like getting your ponder countered, right? Or forced well.
You know, I jam like maybe like 400, 500 games, matches reps of like Ant and Tess, and there is a lot of times where the opponent should just force a spell pierce or flush through my Ponder or brainstorm. Like I think it's like that's not done often enough, but that's another story for another day. I think.
I mean, there's definitely times for it. I don't know if turn one is usually the correct time. Is I guess.
I think that turn zero or turn one Once Upon a Time is a pretty sus dude for us. Yeah, I see.
Exactly. That's my point, right? It's essentially turn one or slash turn zero, Once Upon a Time. But yeah, we are getting ranched by this deck. Luckily, we expect to lose game one, so hopefully our post board here can do a lot better than we did the first time.
Don't worry, I've been a fan of elves for like years now, so my confidence in the deck would not be weighing in just like a game or two.
This matchup is traditionally better than it is at the moment, but we don't have the luxury of Leyline, like I said. And unfortunately, because we got paired into the same opponent, they likely know now we don't have Leyline, which makes it also
Oh,
very hard. Huh?
yeah, we have some Moto Crushers here, noted SCG commentator and writer Dom Harvey,
Dominique Harvey, yeah.
Genki as well, like another person who's been crushing it on the arena circuit.
Nice.
I feel like maybe I'm like sending off negative like Grizzlebrand energy, and I'm just like attracting the Grizzlebrand. Like, I feel kind of bad in that sense.
No, not at all. Like here, it's okay. So this is actually kind of interesting situation. You either slam down the reclaimer or you leave crop up. I personally think it's correct here to slam the reclaimer. because they would have the full combo. Uh,
What I think one of the ways I do, like, so two things I guess, like one, yeah, I think as a player that plays combo a lot, people
mhm,
mull to combat my top end of my range keep range
mhm.
far too often. And by that what I mean then, I think like on average I would guess that Slime the Reclaimer is stronger in the long run.
For sure.
Number two, like I also think like we can like narrow their keep range by how many they kept. So like how many did they keep?
Hmm. So,
Oh, KP, one vintage cube trophy? That's like one more than me, Pog. So how many did they keep here?
how many cards?
Yeah. Oh, did they?
They kept the full 7, which is
Huh. So
fine.
that still doesn't lean you towards the crop rot line, huh? Because we only lose one turn on tempo, but I'm just like spewing random thoughts.
I think, yeah, we want this down because it's much harder for them to be a reclaimer than it is because, especially since we saw the captain unmasked already. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'll do that. I'll leave it up. It's fine.
You don't want to get like randomly ranched by like you fetching and then in response like do whatever kind of thing.
Not in this matchup, but yes, normally I
Oh,
would.
yeah, because they can't do a sorcery speed, yeah, instant speed, yeah, yeah.
But that's a good point. I do fetch against Delver like on my turn because I don't want to get ranched by removal and then not be able to reclaim her now.
XXT3X asks, do you play EDH? If so, definitely check out Marwyn. I believe Marwyn is the Dominaria rare that adds mana for each elves in your party or in your on your battlefield. Like, do you play EDH, Newton?
I do. I play 1v1 EDH. So my commander is Grenzo Dungeon Warrior.
Dungeon Warrior. I don't
Oh,
know that
sorry,
card.
Dungeon Warden. Sorry, my mistake.
Is that the one where it looks at the bottom of the library one?
It is.
Oh, that one's wacky one.
So here, we don't have the kill quite, but we have a pretty good turn. Like, and I think there's no. Well, let me see. Yeah, there's no reason to get greedier. I'll just leave mana open, and this represents another attacker for next turn.
It seems very hard for them to beat the setup.
I think so too because I think the hard part is the reclaimer because boarding in removal against elves is kind of bad. The problem is winning game 3, and this is actually more what game 2 looks like. We just, like I
Right.
said, got a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, from my experience, like as a combo player, the hardest hate to beat is the off-axis one. Like if humans in modern brings in like Pith and Needle or something,
Uh-huh.
or like as Ant, like if Ruck Delver brings in No Rock, because like I'm not fucking bringing in like Chain of Vapor or whatnot, right? So if they get me, they get me kind of thing. So it sucks for me, like if I'm playing Reanimator, when the Elves player like brings in like I mean, hate bears like Yatik or whatever, because you're not bringing like abrupt. Are they bringing like what kind of cyber cards would you expect them to bring in?
Okay, so in this matchup, uh, they usually expect Leyline in the past, especially since like most elf players, after I convinced them, moved to Leyline from Surgical because I think Surgical is just awful in this deck. But most players expect Reanimators expect Leyline, so they board in like Reverend Silence and whatnot. The thing is, because of that, we actually moved to a two Leyline, two Surgical, or two crop split, and then they have to guess now what you're on. And that, like you said earlier, when you have off axis hate, it's much harder to beat.
Yeah, that's exactly like what I was talking about. Just like so much, the less they expect it, and the more off axis it is. Like the harder it is for like the combo player to like really beat.
Mhm. And low key trick, what I do is to when they expect leyline, I will snap keep hands without leyline that have off axis disruption, and I will slow roll ley lines if that makes sense.
Yeah, the timing, the little timing trick edges like do can work definitely.
So this is a sketch hand. I think we have to mull. All right, this is a key.
That's great.
Ugh.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, see, that's the problem in this matchup because we played them the previous round, so they know what we're on. And the fact that they don't have to play around Leyline is kind of big. So here, what I typically do, ideally here we draw Once Upon a Time. That's actually one of the cool ways to beat a
Break
Chancellor.
yeah.
That's the other way.
Jeez.
So the good thing is the only thing in their yard is the Chancellor, which we can beat actually if they reanimate it this turn.
I assume this would still require like Heritage Druid of some sort.
Um, it just requires hitting a payoff spell, and with it's not too hard to hit a payoff spell with Reclaimer because we still have multiple turns, I guess, and we can potentially race. So I think I'm gonna go for that line.
This is exciting.
Yeah, if we draw another fetch, we can start racing the Chancellor, and if they get into that situation, it's an auto loss for them. Like they cannot race us. The awkward part was drawing the bog though, but it could be relevant. Uh-oh, that's not good. It could be a flashback looting. Yeah.
We can accrue value off of the bog this way. Is the Chancellor effect global or one-sided?
It's one-sided. Yeah, so they whiff, which we needed. And the reason being is that then we can start bashing back if they start attacking us because we're gonna at one point have more power than their creature, which is kind of funny. Okay, so I think they have one card in hand. It could be Entomb, but I don't think we can. I think we have to try to force the race now. So I'm just gonna play it and then main phase fetch.
Now they're Delvers.
Now they're Delvers, exactly. We all know about that.
Hope
And
that's-
I'm almost certain this is gonna stop them from attacking because they're on a one-turn clock. They can't afford to attack now.
I mean, they're pretty fucking dead.
This is pretty awesome. Yeah, we got there. and you know this is not an easy matchup for elves, especially without Leyline.
No, it definitely showed your experience with the deck and the matchup because like you knew right away what the hell to do there. I may have been like a bit spinning my wheels, but yeah, you definitely identified like that's like one of the ways that you can win, like one of the non-standard ways.
Yeah. Definitely, this didn't play out like a normal way. I would say game 2 is more similar of how a win should look like, but sometimes they have to go for the. It's funny we just mentioned that too before we played any matches, but sometimes they have to go for the Chancellor, and they expect a crop rotation because they saw it in the previous match. But that was a pretty sweet win, I would say just racing the Angel there. And I would say half the battle is actually knowing what to mulligan for. Like you kind of saw, right? Like the deck kind of played itself after mulligans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we need to not have these hands. Okay, this is better.
This is like much better. It's twin Jarvis. It's twin.
Yeah, if you're watching Jarvis, we have twin in our hand right now. So any guess what you would put back here?
I would just probably put back a basic if I had to guess.
Yes, and the reason being is Reclaimer being a 3/4 is much more relevant in Legacy, at least in this deck, than it is in like, for instance, the green-white Reclaimer deck. in modern.
Specifically, one of the most popular decks in the format is like Delver, and Rug Delver cannot beat a 4 toughness creature, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, so if you untap with this card, I mean, we don't know what they're on. I'm not gonna Google them or anything, but if you know that they're on Delver or post board, like just getting this to a 3/4 untapping is probably game in a lot of cases. Like they cannot beat it. Or let me
It
let me
sure looks like another bad matchup.
this matchup is hard game one. Game two, I think we have the tools. Typically, okay. So what would you think is the correct line here?
Well, first of all, like I would guess this is more weighted towards straight lands than depth, because like, is that a good assumption?
So, sorry, say that again. What do you mean?
Is it right to assume that this is like straight lands rather than depth? Like leading on stage is kind of weird to me.
I believe they're on depths because I think usually on lands you want to lead with the green source, but I don't know each deck well enough to answer for sure. Okay, so the pedal gives it away.
This is like turbo depth, right?
Right, which is the really popular archetype for that archetype at the moment, or the popular strain, I should say.
Are we just like fucking dead?
We likely are. There's like certain ways to beat this, but I don't think we're gonna hit it. But we'll see. We have to essentially get a natural order for an Archon and win on the following turn.
Archon just blocks.
Yeah, pretty much. We just need a. Okay, now we're pretty much dead, but
So I guess would Glimpse or Natural Order have been a good draw there?
no, because in most cases, this version, especially without Nandle Sentinel, can't turn to when you need Heritage Druid to turn to Archon. Glimpse, while you can do it with this deck, is almost impossible with this version because of no Nano Sentinel. Like this is essentially a turn 3 deck, but it's a more stable turn 3 deck because you have access to Cradle almost every game, if that makes sense.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Uh,
Does
so
Urban Ranger untap any land or just for?
it's Bounce of Force untap a creature.
Oh fuck.
So both Wirewood. So if it untapped a land, that would be kind of nuts because of Cradle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, but I already started doing it. What would you have guessed?
Um. Hmm. They don't. I guess it's just like discard. I don't like in terms of green black depth. Like I don't think like they have any like plague engineer type of cards. Maybe I'm wrong.
They usually do not. Some lists run it, but this is a combo match, so we need to race it. So if they have it, so be it. This is how I would typically board, and I don't think you're probably not too surprised because we want some kind of interaction. What do you think we would take?
Purely for wasteland, I guess.
Sorry, say that again.
Crop Rod is for wasteland purely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will probably take out the Bog because I don't think Bog is relevant here. And then I think Archon is actually fine here. Maybe are you gonna name instance of Crop Rod? I don't know. That seems a bit dubious to me. I think we just want to race. And I think like same types of logic would apply between the Reanimator matchup here, and I would shave like the some of the Visionary Symbiote package.
Yes, that's exactly right. So, like I said, I would typically shade the Visionary because we're not trying to race. We don't have any more. We don't have as many dead cards to bring out. And I would leave the Archon just because sometimes you can get it fast and instant can matter, and we're not punished the way we are in the Reanimator matchup where they can just reanimate it, so to speak.
Fair.
Even without Wasteland, I would still bring in Crop. Oh, thanks for the follow. But the logic is this is essentially a Dark Ritual or more Cradle access to Cradle, and everything else is like pretty bad, I think, in the sideboard. Thanks for the follow, Theo.
Theo, what's up?
So our opponent says they're a big fan, so that's pretty nice of them. Usually when that happens to me, I usually get ranch, so it's kind of funny.
Oh, I've definitely gotten that, and then like followed up with yeah, turn one, Misty Rainforest and Force Negation your shit. It's like okay.
Yeah, for me it's always like, oh, big fan, and then turn one Gristlebrand.
It's like this sound looks great. I would say no.
It's good. I won't say it's great, only because so the issue with Thoughtseize is it's kind of a necessary evil because it does slow us down, and elf development is exponential. So any hindrance in the early turns is actually a big loss tempo wise later on. But I think overall it's still very good. Like we have two payoff spells and one form of disruption.
Does the turbo version play discard? Because like one concern may have been like how resilient do we want to be against opposing thoughts?
They do play what's it called? They do play discard, and I think they play 7 or 8. Duress and some I don't know the exact split, but in general, Elf is pretty resilient towards discard. Like we have visionaries, like even though we trim some.
Right. The reason why I called out a great hand is because not only do we have the turn one disruption, we also have two business spells, so we're somewhat more resilient to their disruption.
Hmm. Here it's definitely the scrying or the crop. Um,
They play
I,
Confluence? That's interesting.
Yeah, so Tom Hep, Negator 77, pioneered this what's called Rainbow Depths. So they're playing Bug Blue for the Stifle. I think here we probably take the Scrying only because they're kind of short on lands. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, so my basic thinking is like crop rot, taking crop rot gains back some tempo, and Sylvan Scrying gains back some card advantage. Or denies card advantage, I guess, but I'm not quite sure what to do here.
Right, and the fact that they only have one real land, which is the Confluence at the moment, I think we can live with the if because if they crop rot, they're gonna set themselves back, and right now the wasteland is kind of not a big deal in my opinion. Of
Right.
course, we get punished if they draw a Hex Mage, but I think that's
I'm
okay.
not gonna flip too much about a 4-outer.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my opponent that we're streaming right now.
Yognor W seems like a regular of yours or a mod. Hello, good evening.
So they may wasteland us here to try to cheese a game. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. So our opponent is also streaming. So here,
Sweet.
it's only one. Well, I guess we can do two, but you want to commit typically to the board. I know this list only runs one wasteland too, so it doesn't really hurt to fetch the second buy now.
Okay. Just as a crop rot target, I guess.
Just in case we draw more Thoughtseize or whatnot.
Well, I mean, like they only play one wasteland because it's like a bullet for Sylvan Scrying and crop rot.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. To deal with Caracas or whatnot. What's up, y'all? How's it going, man? Yeah, we are doing a collab with Jonathan Zhang today. It's his foray into elves, and hopefully he will pick it up soon because we can always use.
Haven't punched my ticket into the elves cabal yet, but I'm learning.
Yeah, we can always use more bright minds on this deck, especially since there aren't too many people. Ooh, so our opponent is in the Twitch chat now.
Going on.
Hopefully he didn't see our screen, cause he asked for the link, but so be it. So I think, okay, there we go. We just want to set up a. So I don't know if this is intuitive or not, but would you have led with the green sun here?
I guess Green Sun makes the Kratos. Green Sun is neutral, mana neutral with the Kratos.
Exactly, and we're just looking to we're just looking to accelerate through our natural order.
Do they have Spellpierce?
Flusterstorm. Yeah, they normally play two in the sideboard. I don't think we saw that earlier. Yeah, we did not. I sure hope our opponent didn't ghost though. Like,
It will be a pretty weird line to ask for your Twitch and then announce themselves to be in chat. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of strange what's going on.
Newton raised the turn one reanimate monster. I'm not sure how that rates on the cool play.
Yeah, so David, so Viper Force goes to my LGS. He is a nasty Chalice player, but we beat a Gristlebrand, or we beat Reanimator the last round. Alright, so we're just setting up for lethal the following turn.
Yield value. Value ones.
In this version, actually, the value glimpse actually happens a lot, or a lot of times it's silence because there's with 6 cards in hand, there's no way they can just let that resolve. Like that tells me that they don't have the force. So you play glimpse as a silence. Like a lot of times, I've had like no creatures in hand. I just glimpse and see if they counter it. Because I have natural order, for instance.
Man, I've cast my fair share of Make It Through the Breach or
Those are my favorite actually, because a lot of times you're forced into that position. You don't have a choice.
It's a really fun sub game. I've also led with like Veil Summer a lot too.
Nice, I like it. Okay, so here they have the.
So you get to a Crop Rod next turn, right?
We're dead to crop out this turn. We need to make sure we have enough attackers. So we can attack with 3, and they all get 5. So okay, so we were lucky to get the 1 drop here. Because they all get 5 now.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's Xaxes actually. Well, actually, it's gonna be. They're gonna be down to 1.
So 20, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Yeah, but they can block the hoof by making a merit lead.
Sure.
We lose to a stifle, but I mean we can't really play around everything.
I mean, they have to have exactly Stifle and Crop Rod to punish you, right?
Yeah.
They have Stifle and whatever. Oh,
And they don't have the mana for Crop Rod plus stifle either.
Right. I love watching Crater Hoof.
Crater Hoof is definitely a oldie but goodie. Like I've tried versions without the natural order package. The problem is you just lose too many free wins. Okay, so we're just gonna yield. Like they can block the hoof, but we have 18 on board.
We're exactly the right amount of creatures, huh? That's kind of nice.
Yeah, we had the top deck. We had the fetch in hand, but we needed a top deck a creature here or a Green Sun. Okay, so game 3 is gonna be hard because we're on the draw. So David, to answer your question on chat, yes, Reanimator is a very hard matchup, especially without Leyline. With Leyline, it's actually I would say I'm favored post board.
I'm gonna finish my dinner, so I'll be silent.
Okay, no problem. I think what I'll do too is take a break after this. Take a quick break after this match to use the restroom. I mean,
Sounds good.
usually that's only like a minute or so, anyways. So, one silver bullet that we're not playing today is the Caracas. So, with it, we can tap out more with crop rotation in hand. Without it, we kind of have to leave one mana open when we have crop. Not a big deal because I've gotten a lot of people just by leaving one mana open and they go for it on their turn, and then I get Wasteland. But sometimes the extra mana matters. All
I
right,
guess the
so
value of the one bullet land like increases like significantly with the Reclaimer and the Crop Rot build.
yeah. I just think Reclaimer is like one of the most underplayed legacy cards in general, and I'd argue it's the actual best one drop in Legacy. No offense to Delver.
Fucking
For a second, I thought they were gonna veil me, which seems kind of iffy to bring in.
Veil doesn't see that much legacy play, does it? Maybe.
Not at the moment, no. Oh, jeez. Okay, so they did that. So that can happen.
Yeah, because a lot of their business is like lands. Is that a turn 4 kill for them on the play?
I believe it's a turn 3 kill. Or turn 4 it was through attacks.
We'll get their we'll get our turn 3, but not turn 4.
Yes. Because they're gonna play a Sajiri step here and then the following turn play their Dark Depths. We are probably gonna lose this race, so we have to draw kind of well. But we do have live draws. Like Reclaimer off the top here is like, actually no, Reclaimer doesn't do anything here because they can do it their turn. But Crop Rot here is pretty good. In fact, I'd argue Crop Rot here would be probably game. Like I don't think they can recover from that. All right. I think we just tap out and just hope.
We draw it. Yeah.
Oh, not what we needed. Hey, Levi, how's it going, man? We are 1-1 in this league so far. We played against the same Reanimator pilot twice. Lost the first time, won the second time. Okay, so
Crusher, Levi, hello. They should have made the Merit League, right?
they should have made it on their turn. Yeah. Maybe they're
What
scared.
were you playing around?
I don't know what they would be playing around because like everything that they would be playing around is still applicable now, I guess. Man, we're in a tough spot. I think we just hope to get lucky here because it doesn't look. It looks like they're gonna make it end step, and I just think our only hope is to once upon a time dig for 5 and hope we hit the what is it called? We hit the wasteland.
Wouldn't leading on Glimpse and Ritual and drawing the card that way be better? I guess Once Upon a Time has like 5 looks.
Yeah, we could have done that and just tap the ranger that way, and then that way we have our land drop available. But nope.
I cannot believe they didn't look, or they didn't make their stuff.
Yeah. They should have, but it's not gonna matter, unfortunately. We would have got punished there if the next card was a crop rotation, but it's not gonna matter. We have to hope now that they don't go for it because we're leaving up mana.
I assume that's a math question, Levi. Like whether we have more, what's more likely to like draw into our crop road or the one of Wasteland. We're at 5 looks at 1 outer. I'm not
We could have done both. I could have made the mana off the Birch Lord instead. Or actually, if you do it that way, you can't actually do the 5 look. So I guess it's a math question. Yeah, because
No.
with Birch Lord we only have the 1 mana and then we'd be short. Yeah, so I guess it's a math question. Either 2 outs with 1 look or 1 out with 5 looks. I think 1 out with 5 is probably better.
I would also venture a guess and say 1 out and 5 looks is better. Let's see the geometric just for fun.
All right, so we didn't get there. So Mitchell, the other voice is Jonathan Zhang, who is a turn 1 specialist. We have, well, let me think. We would have, no, Levi, we would have, yeah, 2 looks, I guess. So it's
So two looks at 2 outs? 2 looks at 1 out? Or 2 looks at 5 outs?
It's 2 looks at 2 outs.
There's the 2 crop rot and 1 wasteland?
Yeah, 1 wasteland. So
It's 3.
3, yeah.
So hypergeometric says 12%, whereas if you have 5 looks at 1 out, then that is 10%. Oh wow, the 2 looks at 3 outs actually is better.
Okay, so we could have done that. It didn't matter there because we saw the 5 cards, but good to know.
It's good to know the lines or
Yeah. It should be only 3 outs, right? Because there's only 2 crops. Unless I'm missing something. Levi?
Your last round opponent is here saying hi in chat. Turn 1 specialist. Well, I have no redeeming quality as a Magic player, so I resort to just trying to turn 1 the hell out of people in Modern. But now that they printed Force Negation, I've just gone into hiding.
So Levi, there's no Caracas, so that's why there's only 3 outs. Here's the list we're playing tonight. In honor of Jonathan and trying to just smash blue decks, which we haven't run into yet, we are playing a Boseiju.
Of course, we tune our list to smash and punish blue net deckers, and we play against 3 combo decks. That's just the way it goes sometimes.
It is, and we actually won one of them, so can't complain too badly. Like, this name looks familiar. I don't remember what they're on. Not the best because of Archon, but I think this is still a keep.
I still remember the Reed Duke Elves videos where he just actually hardcast the Progenitus. Those are amusing ones.
I low-key have never cast a Progenitus, actually. I've only Green Sun for it once. Or twice, actually.
Green Sun for 10?
The reason being is, can you guess why that came out, actually?
Green Sun for 10? Surely not a meddling mage situation.
It was not a meddling mage situation.
Let me... Not an ensnaring bridge. Like, swords? No, it doesn't sound right. Okay, what was the reason?
The reason was because I had cast Hoof and they had countered it.
Oh, okay. How many hoofs do you play? 1 or 2?
I just play 1. A lot of people still play 2. I think Archon just gives a different dimension, so I think it's worth it. Yeah. So Thought Seasons was a good guess, Levi. So I have also cast a Worldspine Worm before because this happened back when I used to play Worldspine Worm.
Why were you playing Worldspine Worm? That's like a modern Grishogrand staple.
Because at the time, Deathrite was legal, and then I think Jund was like somewhat popular, so it like beats Jund.
Oh my god. I assume we smash other creature decks like Death and Taxes and Goblins and Merfolk and shit. We do, right?
Yeah. Goblins can be hard if they have hate. Like, Death and Taxes is like one of the best matchups. Like, I went a full year without losing to it.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
They don't play Chain Warlord, surely.
They do, but you mean Goblins?
Yeah.
They do. So Goblins is harder. Go ahead.
They do?
Yeah, they do play Chain Lord.
Huh. I guess you can matron it up and all that. It's like not so bad.
That's exactly why they play the one of.
What else is it good against? Like, I mean, like Storm is not going to try to empty you out. Like, is it just like elves?
It's like decent against D&T.
Because of like Mon, Thalia.
Just like they have all X
Flip
ones. That's
with.
why, yeah. I think it's like mostly for elves, but it's like good against the mirror too. I think.
I mean, Rug Delver specifically has Blazing Volley, and I'm sure that card has like your name on it.
Yeah. So Blazing Volley is why we actually board out Heritage Druid now. Like we don't want to overextend, and we like if you're an elf player and you're complaining about Blazing Volley, I think it just means to me you're not prepared because it's been in the Rug Delver sideboard for a while now because elves is good, and same thing with the engineer, right? Like you have to be prepared for that kind of stuff. But oh
Yeah,
yeah,
if you're
so,
playing a linear deck with one axis, like you don't have you forfeit the right to like complain about it. So they're not dead yet, right? Because we don't really want to natural order empty hand, like empty boarded.
no, we don't have the mana, but we have Reclaimer to generate it. So I'm just gonna play the Arbor and pass, and then end step get a Cradle. It's funny too because
That's
I have this tech that I'm not running at the moment. So Levi mentioned Neto is more all in. That's true. Even the Neto build, I would still play one Archon, because I used to play Neto, just because of different access, right? You have to play two fatties
that's
anyways because in case you draw one. So you don't the cost of playing Archon is low in my opinion.
I mean, it's very good against like certain combo decks as well. It's like one of the few ways you beat them in game one or whatever, right?
Yeah. It reads with target game. I think our opponent feels like they need to pressure us because they tapped out. I think they're gonna be dead now because of it.
I mean, this draw is far too fair down from goblins, right?
Yeah. They need like a white. Interesting.
What's their winning game print? Sorry,
What's the roadmap?
well, yeah, what's their winning roadmap, or how do the winning games from goblins look?
The games where they win involve. Okay, I don't get. It's not like this. I'll tell you that much. But they have to have turn one Aether Vial and turn two Rishodon Port. Like that's pretty good. And then if they can get to 3 or 4 mana with a Vial, then they can eventually tutor up their sweepers, especially post board where they have things like Pyrokinesis that help.
Pyrokinesis sounds nasty. Oh my god.
In general, elves can beat sweepers. The problem is elves cannot beat instant speed sweepers, which Pyrokinesis is just nasty against us. Luckily, I don't believe they have it here game one. I mean, I've seen Lisp run it, but it's more
Um,
niche.
d- it's been a while since they played Sharpshooter, right? Or do they still play this?
They've cut Sharpshooter ever since the addition of what is it called? The Chain Roller. Yeah, Sharpshooter is a nasty card if they have it. And I think in this matchup, Progenitus is just insane because they have a bunch of spot removal post board, and we can't afford to play, excuse me, into sweepers. So I like to just board in Progenitus, and I don't think they have anything relevant that we need a decay. So I'm just gonna board in a crop. There's an argument to be made for oof, but I think it's a little bit narrow. Like Vile is
I,
good, but it's not like game winning.
I've seen blue white control or just head control in modern bringing Stony Silence exactly for like against humans exactly for Vile because like that's like one of their only ways that humans can win, or that's like the main way they win and all that. So I'll never make fun of that sort of line of thinking. It just means that like the pilot has thought it over more.
I think it's like decent, right? Like I think it definitely does. It definitely is like medium to high impact against goblins. The thing is, I don't think it wins by itself. We can try it. Like let's see.
No, I feel like your proactive like plan A is like already very good. That's why I wasn't like really sure if it's worth it or not. But I'll defer to you.
Okay, we'll try it both ways. Like we'll try with the crop first, and we lose, we can board it in. I think it's a little bit narrow, but I know other people tried, and sometimes you can just steal games because they kept a greedy hand. Unfortunately, man, this is tough.
Always the progenitus.
uh, I actually want to keep this hand because the 6 is very good.
Turn 1, Green Sun for Dryad Arbor. Is it Dryad Arbor or is it Reclaimer? It's Dryad Arbor.
It's in most cases it's Dryad Arbor. The crop is means more access to Cradle. Maybe it's greedy, but I want to keep this hand. We'll try it.
I mean, the 6 seems fine to me.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of the key cards there.
The only thing is we kind of want this in our deck to natural order 4 is the only problem, but I think it's a very good 6.
I'm sure you're. Oh, it's so hard to hard cast Progenitus without the Nettle Sentinel package, I guess.
Even with the Nettle set, I've never hard casted this because a lot of times you've already won, unless you're just showing off, I guess.
Style points is very important, obviously.
It is, but also time is very important. So like when I can win in style without sacrificing time, then I'll do it.
I'm most certainly very practical over style. Huh, that's interesting.
Thank you for the follow, Final Nub. I wonder who that is.
Gentleman, a scholar, I would assume.
Okay, so that's an interesting turn too because they haven't done anything to interact with us. It almost makes me feel like they have a sweeper in hand because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
Do they keep 7?
They did. So I'm almost tempted to believe they have a sweeper, but
I against a competent player, I'm always going to I'm always like updating my assumption on the opponent's keep range. Like the stranger it looks as the turns go on, and if they kept 7 and all that, it's just like looks more like stranger and stranger, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna play it safe here because and see what they do. They may pyrokinesis this.
This song and dance is like always a weird one. This pause also makes me extremely suspicious.
Yeah, the pause tells me it's pyrokinesis.
Is it 4 divided?
Yeah, it's 4 divided. So I think they're debating if they want to do it now or not. So they are okay.
Would you rather nail the Symbiote and the Arbor? I kind of feel like Symbiote's more valuable, but maybe not.
Reclaimer is actually pretty good in this match. It's like a Tarmogoyf. They can't get through it. Like if it gets to 3/4.
Don't they have like do they run the Krenkle package? And they have like the War Marshal and all that. Like I feel like they can chump it like for days. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's not so much that they can chump it. It's just that they can't attack through.
Okay.
Like we're not. They're the aggro in this matchup.
I mean, they also have they have Muxus, right?
Yes, they have Muxus.
Do they run the Krenkle package?
They do not. As most lists do not run the correct because you need to untap.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the current state of Legacy goblins. Do they run? They don't run the Snoop Sling Gang combo, do they?
People tried it initially. Some people had success, but I think it kind of fell out of favor for now.
That's fair. It seems a bit too cumbersome and clunky for Legacy.
Yeah, it's kind of jumping through a lot of hoops.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like Muxus is like the same kind of inevitability or like close proxy enough.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of awkward. The Creator Maker is like still gonna fuck us. Like,
yeah, like the lackey's gonna get through right now.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford to block the lackey, right? And we're just gonna have to hope that their hand is like empty.
I think it depends. Let's see what they do. They have 1. So that's gotta be. This looks like a Sling Gang. Yeah.
Oh, so they do play Sling Gang, but like just as a value creature, I guess.
They can combo kill too with that and Pashlik Mons.
Oh, they run Patchwork ones.
Mhm. So I think that
Yeah,
was like
I,
really good for us there because they showed us our hand, right? We don't even have to block now.
yeah. It's like a higher level play, I guess. Well, no, yeah, they definitely should have. They definitely should have like attacked first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because then they force us potentially have to think about blocking. I think here we have no choice but to try to go for it now. So let's see.
So
And
sorry, can you give me a second here? What does going for it look like? So I guess it's like chain the. Okay, I guess
well,
we
when I
can
say go
chain
for it, I
the.
mean fire off a glimpse.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's highly unlikely to get a kill here, right? Another.
No, but what we can do is potentially set up for a kill the following turn. But the problem is, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six,
So
seven. We're really at seven.
would you would you play the would you cast the glimpse and like return the heritage root here?
Yes. So I want to do that, but getting a cradle first. So this is actually something that comes up.
Oh, that's what Cradle's good for. Jeez,
yeah,
it's like darker. It's like darker.
yeah, yeah. This is like dark ritual right here, because we get one mana, and we want to do this prior for chat, prior to the bounce, because you net a mana off the cradle. So this is
Yeah,
like
I'm kind of digging this crop rot package more and more now. It's like it's kind of unconventional for me, or it's not the elves I know, but yeah, it's like this is kind of cool. So now like we have like far more chance to like accrue a bit more card advantage here. And if I've learned anything in my year of seriously playing draft, being card advantageous is very good.
yes, yes. I think most people would agree with that.
Okay, so Creon Ranger. Okay, we gotta be mindful of the creator maker that they can kill Keek elves, but I highly doubt that we can play around whatever that is. Yeah, I guess the chain ends. Well, it doesn't have to end right here, I guess.
It can go on a little bit longer, especially since we have a second no, we have one crop, but we have to try
We
to
also gotta be mindful of like having blockers because if you have zero blockers, they win right now, right?
exactly. So one thing that's important here is we have a double glimpse going. It's important to
Yeah.
actually be so we're strained on mana. So we're actually bouncing back a ranger instead of a visionary, and I think that
Oh,
makes
because
sense, right?
you can activate the whatchamacallit again, right?
Exactly. So so ranger here does a good nettle sentinel impersonation.
These are the types of lines that is not the most intuitive unless like you're experienced with that for sure.
Yeah, I would say like this is probably the harder stuff to learn from the deck from this version of the deck. Like essentially you unlike the other version, you cannot afford to did I bounce? Yeah. You cannot afford to miss
Before,
sequence during a glimpse is what I meant to say.
yeah, for sure. You wanna squeeze out every value on the margin here. Francisco Paulitz, I believe, noted quote unquote last modern streamer, even though he's another streamer. So I'm highly dubious about your claims, and also, yeah, force negation is unfair. Hello, Francisco.
So what's up, Francisco? He is one of the people that helped me on the Mox event as well. So shout out to Francisco. Noted Amulet Titan, Green White Reclaimer Master.
I mean, he originated the vile version of Greenlight Titan. Back in simpler times, Francisco. Can we win from here?
There is a line we can. We have to have enough attack. Oh, so we could have two attackers.
I mean, we have three. We have three with like the two leftmost creatures untapped plus critical, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 right now. So we're not that far if we can get a critical going.
I actually think we cannot based on this board state because
Oh no
we
no because they can gain life.
well not even that. Like we're only at 3 mana, and the only way to net mana in this deck is with a Aquarian or a Wirewood.
Oh nettle. There's no nettle. I see.
We can okay. Let's see. Do we have any more 1 drops? We do not.
Do you not play traditional Llanowar elves?
No, we don't. I don't.
Does the Nettle Sentinel version do it?
No. Both versions are off of it now.
But traditionally they have, right? I remember lists that do.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Okay, we
I mean,
drew the dude too.
Creative looks so impressive.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So unfortunately, our glimpse ends here. We can put the silly progenitors back into the deck at least, but the game that isn't gonna be decided by that. And then we're just gonna have to chump some the following turn.
Yeah, they're 3 off lethal.
So we actually here want to leave the progenitors. I mean, in hand only because it doesn't matter. So they don't know about it. They probably already expect us to have it.
I mean, you draw more than half a deck, so it's like probabilistically it's more likely.
I guess we can show it. They probably expect us to have it in the deck. I mean, reveal it as part of our 75.
I think that's like super marginal, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right, strictly speaking.
So we will have to throw dudes in front, but that's not
Yep.
that's not a big
This is
deal.
where your draft experience comes in. Combat math. Let's combat math.
And just to be safe, I think let's see, we can block 2, 3. We block the sling gang for sure, because then that forced them into
Making a decision about the sacrificing.
right, exactly. And here, I believe I'm gonna bounce a
Oh, we
dude.
can untap some other dudes.
Yeah, we don't care about what it is. Like we have a lethal hoof the following turn.
Yeah. I'm just like, as a combo player, I'm always like thinking about like what in what way can we go wrong here. I mean,
Yeah,
King
yeah.
World we can never play around, I believe. But
Uh-huh.
other than that, like what else is there? Like Gem Palm or something like there's no one key goblin, right?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that doesn't really matter.
That does because well, it doesn't matter because we're gonna play it safe anyways.
Yeah.
I was just gonna bounce stuff and then untap. Like we have lethal.
Well, I think you're always blocking the maximum amount of creatures in the spot because you like, reasonably cannot play around Chain Whirler and you reasonably like just like win every other time that you don't die.
Hmm. I completely agree. All right, so they try to kill our reclaimer, so we just bounce in
That doesn't
response.
even matter. Yeah, that's okay. Modern Horizons 1, people rag on it, and I agree. Like the top end egregious stuff is like truly egregious, but it did enable some really cool stuff in my opinion.
Okay, let's cancel that.
I doubt Modern Horizon ruined Legacy as much as it ruined Modern, though.
So let's just make sure 5. We can block 5. Yeah, they can't kill us.
Wow, your draft prep truly shining. I love it.
Yeah, I'm getting better with combat math, right?
I just like fucking hate combat math so much, but you know if you're playing draft a lot, then like you really gotta do it.
It's actually a misplay for them to have attacked with the sling gang. Right, because now
I
now
mean,
they can't.
in their point of view, like the only way they can win is like
They have to
assume
mess.
that
Hope I mess up, I guess.
yeah. Attacking with sling gun, I guess leaves no room.
So this is kind of nice. Like we have deterministic kill.
Yeah.
The real mistake that they made was not attacking. Sorry, playing the sling gang pre-combat. Like that was the thing that changed everything.
Sometimes you gotta squeeze every bit of point.
That's true. The nice thing is life gain, unless it's like an exorbitant amount, typically doesn't matter against elves when you're huffing.
You get into some weird situations though, where like Euro has gained too much life and you can't kill the hoof anymore, but that's more fringe. Just curious how much this would have been. 12 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 132. Okay, we're 2-2. 1-2 against the unfair decks, 1-0 against the fair decks. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Is that okay? I'll be back in like a minute.
All good. I'm gonna get some water then.
All right, sounds good. What's up, D-Sit? How's it going, man? I just came back from the restroom. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid, Legacy Pit. Appreciate it. We are 2-2 so far in this league. We played the same Reanimator player twice. We lost the first time, won the second time. Then we lost to Depths in 3, and then we just beat Goblins. Our guest today is final noob Jonathan Zhang, who is a noted modern turn 1 player. Plays Neoform in Modern, and he is trying to, he's had a change of heart. He wants to play a grindier elf deck now, so...
I mean, y'all can still kill fast, so if it was like a pure Jund deck, then I would not have come, but... I respect Newton and I respect the speed, the changing of the gears that elves can do.
So Decent mentioned in my Discord, it mentioned how my night went. I'll take a look at it later. I haven't checked this since I signed on the stream, but yeah, for anybody who's looking forward to we joke a lot that Splinter Twin is where we can find a Splinter Twin interaction. And Jonathan loves that Elvish Visionary and Wirewood Symbiote is essentially a Splinter Twin. For all the modern people out there.
Yes. Oh, modern. Anyways.
Also, in his honor, we are playing a Boseiju tonight because Jonathan just loves crushing, Force of Will, Force of Negation decks. So that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and start.
Screw you, force negation.
John is on a crusade to get Force Negation banned.
Force negation is unfair now.
So again, like you evaluate based on if you have a fatty in your hand, how the 6 would look without it, and the 6 is not great but not bad. Like you have a draw spell, you have Shepherd in case they're on Chalice deck. Yes, Allosaur Shepherd, very good card.
It's a very easy pitching of the Archon.
So here, I typically lead with the worst elf here. What do you think that would be here, Jonathan?
Oh shit, you're on 7. I actually think it's Heritage Druid.
It is. And the reason being is because the card doesn't do anything until you have 3 elves. And if you have 3 elves, it either means that their hand is slow or they don't have any interaction, or both. So, and Burst Lord kind of does the same thing, but it's less mana. The requirements for it is lower.
Yeah, I just figured that Heritage Druid was the one that required the most critical mass.
Exactly. So this is kind of nice. Like, I think given that they don't have a removal spell because of Trop, we're going to lead with Shepherd to protect our play into Birchlore, into Visionary.
What does Trop mean in this economy?
Trop in this economy tells me they're either on Omnitel or Rogue Delver, and less likely Infect. In fact, I'm almost certain they're not on Infect.
Interesting. 0 turn 1 play makes me way less away from Rogue Delver, I would say. But that's only like...
Right. The only thing that they could have been possibly on is if they're out of Rogue Delver, like a Stifle, but then they would have stifled our land.
Yeah. Huh. Do control decks play like Bug or like 4-color like Snoko? Like, do they play dual lands? Do they play Trop?
They do, but I would think from those decks they would have either turn 1 Ponder or turn 1 Astrolabe.
I would guess so too. Yeah.
So it's almost like they're on what is it called? They could be on Omnitel, but Omnitel typically plays Snow Basics.
Right.
Maybe they wanted to just daze whatever we did, and then it got foiled because we have Shepherd.
I mean, this line of play definitely would lean me towards combo decks more often than not, but maybe.
Yeah, it could be a combo deck because they didn't do anything.
Is this like your Eureka Tower?
I would think more likely blue-green Omnitel. It would be based on what we've seen so far.
Doesn't blue-green Omnitel mean Eureka or no?
Usually at most like 1.
Okay.
Alright, so they're just dead here. Like, they don't know about the Cradle in our hand, which is pretty nice.
What do we do? Do we cast Archon for sorcery?
No, we have lethal with Shepherd.
Wait, what? Oh my god!
So I know you asked me earlier how often it comes up. It comes up pretty often, actually.
Oh my god! I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so a lot of times what happens is if they tap out, you can just go for it. Otherwise, I won't because you don't want to run it into like an Ice Fang or whatever nonsense removal, right? But here is free. It was a free roll.
That is fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
Alright, the way they played, I would incline to think they're on combo. So that's why I'm going to bring in the Thoughtseizes. And I think they're on Omnitel. That's my my read.
That seems like a reasonable read to me.
And then, as usual, I would board out the Visionary and the Wirewood combination. Actually, the Boseiju here is actually pretty good too. So we might actually see it come to use now.
Yeah. Let's see them. Do they play Intuition?
I don't think they do. If they do, it's like a wish target. And I think here we want the crop rotations for the speed. Not to mention, a very cool line is end step crop rotation for Boseiju.
Oh god, yes.
So I think this is like pretty stock.
The only thing I'm like that's kind of different from today's list is the Boseiju, and we just want to punish some blue players today. So the fear that they see that they have when you untap with a Boseiju is just is indescribable.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. He included the Boseiju in my honor. He said, but Boseiju was a combo staple in modern, like ad nauseam and Goros Rangers and all that. But since the four color Omnath deck, which is like the most popular blue control deck, has four colors as well as restrictive mana requirements and Field of the Ruin and Field of the Dead, we cannot play Boseiju anymore. So it's been a long time.
Is that the reason? What's the
Yeah.
reason? It's Field of the Ruin that gets
Field of
rid
Ruin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Field of Ruin has turned the blue versus Tron matchup from unwinnable to like favored, and it's also had the ramification of Boseiju being no longer playable. Because like if they have main deck answers to your bullet that comes in tapped, then like you really can't deal with that.
That
Also,
makes sense.
like they have Aether Gust, which is like super annoying.
Yeah. I hate Aether Gust. As somebody who played Primeval Titan a decent amount in Modern, I just hate that card.
Yeah, it's not the best year for fun for some people for sure.
All right, so take a guess. What happens here?
Uh, so we have 1, 2 mana, 2 mana, 3. If we start with Glimpse and then I would guess. I don't want to get a. Do they run Days?
They do.
They do. Okay. I would guess it's tap the Bayou Glimpse of Nature and then tap the Dried Arbor Shepherd and then Cradle and keep going.
Yeah. So we want to lead with Glimpse here because if they force a will it, we don't really care. Like we have our payoff in natural order, and that's
Right.
that's scarier for them. And we actually almost want them to force the Glimpse because that means they're down 2 cards, and the odds of them having force plus combo, like both pieces of the or I guess 3 pieces of the combo is low, and we will actually want them to pitch the force.
That's 3. That's 5 specific cards.
Yeah.
Is there a
So
win con immediate or like a virtual kill turn or actual kill turn? I'm assuming
it's
it's an
it's
omniscient thing too.
it's immediate.
Immediate? Okay.
Yeah. So we almost are happy here, right?
Right. Okay, I mean, that's a good result, I would say. And then we just set up for the kill next turn, right?
Yes, exactly. Here, it could
Is
matter.
there any reason to save the slower the second shepherd? Like they're not like a removal color, right?
No, they don't have removal. Like sometimes they splash white for swords, but in this case, we want to. If they're not on Omni for whatever reason, like this is the correct play. And the reason being is we want to untap with the Reclaimer for the Boseiju, right? If they for whatever reason can get rid of it.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. But even then, like we have the second backup shepherd in hand.
Yeah. Like, yeah, okay, I get you. Is this like just snow?
I think it is.
Down
Yeah.
right there?
I think it is just snow, and they're just likely dead now.
They're pretty fucking dead. I was like, dead of winter? That would be bad.
Yeah, Dead of Winter would have been bad because it would have, 1 for 3 us or whatever, 3 for 1 us.
End of turn brainstorm kind of made me think about combo more often than not, but I guess it wasn't like an absolute read.
I think they brainstorm on their turn. If I
No. Game 1 day, turn 1, end of turn.
game one. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's like a small read.
Yeah, anytime brainstorm is not on. Okay, so they're not even a removal land right there. Like,
I mean, what could they have? Like Fluster?
I mean, Fluster doesn't even work, right? Because of Shepherd.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like so many ways to kill here, but.
I mean, you could put her on Gut Shot, Force of Will, lols.
I think Mind Break Trap is potential, so
Oh, Mind Break seems way more likely.
I think It's fine. I think we have the. We would just play around the mind break trap here. Yeah.
That seems totally correct to me. Oh well, they're pretty fucking dead anyways.
Yeah, I like they're dead a million ways because even if they somehow answered, like we had the Boseiju we can potentially tutor up and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. That was cool. Some
Yeah.
interesting lines.
Do you want to run it back, or I don't know if what your schedule is for tonight?
I mean, if you were planning about streaming a bit more, I'm definitely happy to hang out a bit more.
Oh, perfect. Oh yeah, I was. It's still pretty early tonight, so I was gonna stream a second league.
Okay,
So
I'm definitely in. This is very educational for me.
okay, perfect. So we'll run it back, especially since thanks again to shout out to Legacy Pit for the raid earlier. It's nice having a bigger audience right now,
Well,
and we'll run.
20 viewers.
Huh?
20 viewers, same number as your trophy. 20 is it? Do you have 20 or 22? 22. Jeez.
20. It's funny too because
52. What the fuck?
yeah, Tom's insane. Like 52 is just nuts.
Well,
It's
Orange
22.
didn't look good.
Tom was pretty. Tom told me I was like doing pretty well too because like I took a full 6 weeks off. So like playing modern, right?
Yeah.
So this is like pretty nice. Like little tidbit about me. 22 is actually my career high. So and I did it with like without 6 weeks essentially.
That's pretty legit. Yeah.
For those who are just tuning in right now, here's the list we're running. It's a pretty stock list, like no changes to the main. The sideboard in honor of Jonathan, he really want to crush blue decks, so we're playing the Boseiju tonight.
I'm just hoping we get to play like Delver because I'd really love to see how you play against Delver.
Okay, so Delver is interesting because we don't actually board in the Boseiju because Natural Order comes out. But yeah,
Right.
I am running this cool Grasping Dooms now, which
It looks so funny.
which I didn't even know this card existed until like recently.
Oh god.
And I want to shout out to any Lands players out there. Like this is definitely from the Lands deck because I saw it on MTG Goldfish. I'm like, why are people running this card? And then it occurred to me, oh, it's just to deal with turn 2 Arcane. It's like these are the times we're living in. Because
I feel like if lands and decks are demanding this narrow of a card to deal with one particular card, then I think that's a bit problematic.
well, Depths is not, but Lands is, and I think it's because it's their favorite card, Jonathan. They cannot beat. They cannot beat Force the Negation
God.
because of Life of the Loam, right?
Oh, Exiles.
Yeah, so it's like so bad for Lands. I feel bad for them to be honest.
Why do they have to like exile? Like Passing Flames, like it makes Storm in Modern much worse than sports decks and like Life from the Loam. Like that's a bit screwed up.
Yeah, so that's why Ant like is not too hot at the moment too, right? Because I mean, Veil Summer's not a big deal, but I think the Force of Negation on their passive flames that's a big line that they used to go for.
Yeah, it's like double piff. Like that's how you outgrind like blue decks like through resources, and now Force Negation just like removes 2 for 1.
Yeah, that's so noted. Jonathan is a former Ant grinder here too, so he can probably give better insight into the deck than me.
I'm an acolyte of Brian Cook and Cyrus Cormangill.
Yeah, both are Cyrus in particular. I've known for a while. Super nice to me.
You know we won the SCG together, and that's how I know Cyrus.
Yes. So little tidbit about Jonathan. He won the SCG together with Cyrus in the trios event.
That was fun. Where about in? Do you play? You don't play at Udomania, do you?
No, I am in LA. When I was in Berkeley, I wasn't playing Magic at the time.
Do you know Theo? Isn't Theo going to? Oh, Theo's going to Stanford, maybe.
I think he goes to Berkeley, but again, I'm an old man, so before
You're
Theo's
old.
time.
How old are you? Are you like 25? You look young, man. I thought you might be going to school still.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I am not. I'm definitely not 25.
Oh shit. Okay. You know what they say about Asians, so it's very hard to tell. Oh fuck.
My wife is laughing at it right now.
Oh.
At the prospect of somebody thinking I'm 25. I am 33. So
33. Oh, you're older than me. Holy shit.
yeah,
Well, definitely take that as a compliment.
I do.
Well, like I genuinely thought so because I actually asked you if you knew if you knew
No, no, for
EOT. I'm
sure.
obviously like 33, not
I
30.
am an old man for sure, but I definitely take that as a compliment. So, okay, Narset is on the board, and we
How is this
happen.
matchup? This like they run Chalice, they run the destructive element. I could see this matchup not being great.
I typically, recently at least, have been losing game ones, but winning games two and three. Sometimes you can steal game one if they don't really understand the matchup on their side.
I mean,
Uh,
obviously this is a tough setup here, turn one Narset versus a Glimpse hand, but you got the tools.
we do have the tools, and the good thing is,
Huh.
they don't have permission, which helps. So we just have to not die here.
Wait. Did they not run Brain Deck Force as a sideboard force nowadays?
They run Cyborg Force. It might have been a misplay by me here. I don't think it matters, but I should have actually played the Cradle. And it may or may not matter. The reason being is they might twist us with the Echo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
So
I
that's-
think you're right.
Slight misplay. I should have
Also,
played the
does
Cradle.
not- Oh, Visionary doesn't matter. Okay, okay, never.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Visionary doesn't matter.
You don't run a
Hopefully we don't get
Savannah.
punished. Huh?
You don't run a Savannah, do you?
No, I don't. I don't run Savannah. So the only way you can cast Archon is there's two Burst Lords in the deck.
I see. I think you're gonna get punished here.
It's very likely. Like game one isn't good for us because especially if they know.
Well, I mean the cradle line. Okay, well,
Okay, so we got punished.
I mean we're building our board, I guess. Oh wait,
I mean the Cradle is worth more there.
sure, sure, sure.
In case we top deck the natural order once we get Mind Twisted here.
Oh, right. Because of Narset. I hate Narset so much.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't expect to win game one. Because even though they're a Chalice deck, they're more like a combo deck. Like, really. Yeah, it's not the worst, but I think we're losing game one still. It's hard to win after a Mind Twist.
I guess I mean like we're drawing live. If we had the cradle, we could like end of turn once upon a time and like still have the cradle for natural order. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we get super punished here if we draw the natural order. Yeah. At least with Narset, unlike Hull Breacher, I can actually take it off the field.
Yeah.
Alright, we might be dead. They have a million mana floating. Alright, so now we're really dead. If they're smart, they start removing our creatures. Especially Arbor.
You look pretty dead to me. Do we play any naturalized effects? Do we play Rex Sage?
We used to, but that card is just very awkward in my opinion, so I just cut it.
So we're just running off decays then.
Yeah. We also have a Collector Oof in the sideboard.
Okay.
Okay. I think we need to try to take some of those permanents off the board. So we don't get Lattice next turn.
Right. Once upon a time, into Cradle would be nice.
It would be. I just think they're dead. We're dead because they can recur the Ballista now.
Well, not right now, right?
Or the following turn. On their turn, I mean.
Yeah, this is awkward.
We're gonna play it out for a few more turns, but I'm sure we're dead.
Right.
This is like very typical of how game one goes too. Like we can win game one, but like we just can't beat any of their combo hands, such as anytime they have a Narset or Hull Breacher into Echo, that's a pretty much unwinnable game one.
Hmm.
Because they know we can't interact is the problem. Like having the strategical advantage there. You're only as old as your trophy count. Nice. So I am technically just above drinking age, according to that logic. All right, I think we can just pack it in. I think.
That was rough.
Yeah, this is typically how game one goes in my experience. Again, we are missing those ley lines, which would be clutch right now, but I think it's fine. I've been beating this matchup without ley line, though they help.
Would you boarding the black ley line if you had it?
When I had it before, I did, and the reason why is it stops their nut hands, which we cannot beat otherwise. But I don't think we need it.
So
Like-
it shuts off their Echo and shuts off their Emery, so that leaves them with Fair, Urza, and Karn hands and Chalice, I guess.
Which you
I
can
see
beat,
that.
right?
Yeah.
What am I forgetting? Oh, I need to board one card out. So I'm not bringing the crops because they tend to be kind of awkward. Like they're only good against Emery, and the speed here like doesn't matter too much. I think. Like really, we're looking for a turn 2 oof or turn 3 natural order, which this can help with, but I don't think I want to be. I don't think I want to be losing lands, for instance. It's possible we want them, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to test it more. Also, not the best in the face of Chalice. This is fine. Natural Order is one of our best cards in this matchup.
So it's creature light, but still turn 1 Dryad Arbor, and then we have the Glimpse, Valley Glimpse into double natural order.
Yeah.
So it's
We also, if we hit either double creature or green sun, we have turn 2 oof, which is huge.
turn 2.
Well, actually, we can't.
Oh, yeah.
We would need an arbor. Sorry, we have an arbor for a turn 2 archon. But I was thinking we were on the draw, but we're on the play.
Turn 2. Wait.
We don't have a turn 2. That was my mistake. Only if we top deck a green sun here.
Okay.
Or natural.
Gotcha.
But likely we're going to do a turn 2 value glimpse.
Is Oof even that good against their deck? Because
Uh,
Urza doesn't tap the artifact. It stops Ballista.
Oof is really good because we don't care about their Urza or a. Sorry, we don't care about their Urza draws, yeah.
Okay.
Ugh, that's brutal. They're probably going to kill it.
They're tanking.
If they don't kill it, it's kind of good for us. Okay.
Bolt the bird.
Bolt the bird is correct. Alright, that's pretty good. We need the mana, so we're just going to play out all our dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially any elf and we have natural order online, and it's very difficult for them to beat Archon. Like, sometimes they board an Echoing Troop, but they still have to draw it. It's funny. They just saw our natural order, so depending on their hand, their life might have flashed before their eyes. Uh-oh.
Oof stops 90% of their mana. Okay, yeah, I see. Do you play Scoos?
I used to. I cut it because just don't have room, and I think it's not as high impact out of the sideboard. Not the best, but it has natural order. Like the hands that we can't beat without Leyline are the hands where they keep going through their deck with Echo. Uh-oh. I'm a little scared now. Please don't get LED or Echo.
Do
Sure.
we jam the natural order here?
We probably lead with the Glimpse because they have Forces post board. Chalice maybe. Yeah. All right. Now we have no choice but to lead to natural order. Ooh, that's very good. Okay.
Oofy oof oof. Does that incline us to just lead with the oof?
Yeah, I feel like we lead with the oof in case they have the force. So let's do that.
Did this deck ever run what is it called? Cavern of Souls?
I did actually before. I cut it because I think right now you want the mana base to be as stable as possible. So they did have the force.
I mean, Cavern's like the big way that tribal decks like pressure blue decks, right? Like goblins.
Pressure what?
Does DNT play Cavern?
They used to, not anymore. They used to play one of.
Huh.
But in that deck is much worse, right? Because you can't even tutor for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure goblins also played it too. I think that was like one of the big reasons that goblins is so favored against like old miracles, right?
Yeah, goblins can play four, but the problem is the DNT mana base can't handle more than like one.
But why though? Because like goblins still plays the wastelands and ports too.
It's because DNT the creature suite is more varied. So like Flicker Wisp is double white.
Oh, Apparition is double white, Flicker Wisp is double white. Okay.
Right, it's a lot harder. Oh jeez.
We fucked.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty brutal. Like we had the oof too. The problem is they had the force plus the combo.
Yeah, you're right, you said. Yeah, it's not just like all humans.
Yeah, whereas goblins is all goblins, right? Like
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Damn, this run out is kind of really tough for us.
yeah, like we need them to this is funny when that happens. It actually happens a lot. Like I don't know why they do that mistake a lot against
I
me.
mean, all they need to do is tap one more.
The problem is we can't punish them here.
Yeah, damn.
Well, we have live draws. Natural order is still like pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like their hand was very good, unfortunately. Like we can only beat their medium hands without leyline.
I've seen Yama jam this deck. It's like it seems so unstable.
A lot of times it's spinning his wheels. Yeah.
Spinning the wheels seems fun. I'm not gonna lie. I guess we're dead here.
We're not.
Oh, we can morph. Okay.
We're not dead, but we just have to hope they miss. We have to hit the natural order off the top deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm not really gearing for this matchup, but what's it called? It ley lines do help if we move back to ley line. The problem is I want to beat Delver consistently at the moment, and Arcanist means we have to make deck building considerations for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would play Leyline automatically though if I can guarantee it. If you told me I can start the game all the time with it.
Is that how that works? Just like pray hard enough. Yeah, Theo. That's what I meant. I just meant like yeah. I mean, they could have just paid one more mana. Ruh-roh. Don't they just like get Ballista or something? I'm like, we're pretty fucking dead.
They could get Bridge, I guess. But Bridge is not particularly good against us.
Is that not?
We have Archon. So the way to beat Bridge from this version is to get Archon on Artifact, and at some point you can attack.
Oh, you strand cards. Okay.
Yeah, it actually comes up a lot against the Chalice decks. Like they get Bridge and they think they're safe, and when they're really not.
No, sir.
I mean, Elves gets to play Tolarian Academy, sort of. What in the world? Oh my goodness.
What?
That is a new one.
That's like extremely expensive blazing volley.
Interesting. All right. I guess I'll have to pitch this in response.
Oh my god. I've never ever seen that card. It proliferates.
Okay,
It proliferates again. Oh. Did we bring Progenitus? I don't think so, right?
No, Archon's really good in this matchup. Like it's Iona essentially.
Okay. It beats Dreadhorde? I guess it does. It's like layer on the fucking counters.
Oh, man.
I don't think we can win from this board state because they can proliferate next turn.
Yeah. I think we're drawing pretty thin here.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pack it in. Save chat time. It beats
No, I
Trevor.
totally get that.
In the interest of chat, to save time.
That's a good streamer right there.
Even if I wasn't streaming, I'd probably pack it in given the board state.
Just because of the life EV.
Well, and I'm typically one to play things out too, but I just don't think there's a way you can beat that. Like, assuming the opponent just does not completely throw up on themselves, essentially. And even then, I think they still can just get there.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
No problem. No problem, Zachary. Yeah, so the opponent gave us a chance by missing the EE earlier, but we needed to hit the natural exactly that turn. So this is a solid hand. And as always, you lead with a weaker elf. And despite his reputation, Heritage Druid is actually one of the weakest elves, if not the weakest.
Alright, I'm back.
Sounds good. You didn't miss much. I mentioned we led with a turn 1 Heritage Druid because it was our weakest elf, and then they swords it, and then we top decked a second Heritage Druid, so it kind of worked out.
Huh. It's kind of funny because, like, the reputation for the casual players is like, yeah, Heritage Druid, like, does the most, like, flashy broken shit, right? But as you said, like, it requires the most critical mass, and I'm not surprised to hear you call it, like, one of the one of the weakest links.
Yeah, it's the problem with it is it's good when you're ahead.
Hmm.
It's also better with Nettle Sentinel, but again, it's kind of the same thing, where you kind of have to not be disrupted or it's a little bit win more if I'm being frank. Like if you have 3 elves out against Delver, like what is a Delver player doing? Like Like they need to keep your board clear. Put 2 cards on top. Okay, so they kept. I think this is the Jeskai
The Dreadhorde Mentor, whatever.
Yeah.
Seems like it could be a tough matchup.
They have Teferi, which the problem with these Jeskai decks is it's so dangerous to go for natural order because they can just Teferi bounce your Archon if it's not lethal.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and just play out my dudes and then attack.
Do they play sweepers? At least not in the pre-board, I guess. I'm
I
assuming.
don't think they have it main board, yeah.
What do they play?
For sweepers?
Yeah.
I think they play a Static Caster, which is really annoying. Like,
Ew.
only because, like, the normal way to beat that out of this deck is, or beat Hate Bears out of this deck is Cabal Pit, and that card is, like, just randomly a 0/3. Okay, speaking of the devil. Alright, our best top deck here is a Shepherd.
Shepherd?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I feel like are you forced to just jam here?
100%.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe they forced this. We'll see. I mean, they kind of have
Wait.
to if they have it. Yeah.
Wait? Can we natural order this turn?
Yes, we could have, but they have to force the Visionary.
Okay, so we're just we're just
We're in a holding pattern now. What did they pitch? Teferi. See, that almost wants me to go for the natural order here, but we get blown out by Daze. I think if they had Daze, they would have pitched Daze.
we can make 4 mana, right?
Yeah, we can. I'm just gonna go for it. Like, I don't think we can wait with the Arcanus on the other side.
I know that feeling. Pyroclasm. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, Pyroclasm out of the board. All right. If they have it, they have it.
I do feel like a jam is in order here. Yeah.
Okay, so they had the force.
Damn.
I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, our board state's not getting better. The only thing we could have potentially done is block the Arcanus. If we didn't do that, but
I mean, we could quad block, I guess. No, that still dies to removal.
it's like really iffy, right? Because we could have like quad block, yeah. Or I guess
Well,
5 block. Yeah, but we lose to things like
your
that.
hand is your hand is never beating that they're holding
Yeah.
on this particular hand. So I think like jamming is like more than reasonable. Now they're just going to like abyss you into oblivion, just like remove everything.
Yeah. I mean, they just had kind of the nuts, right? Like double force. Like we needed to have the Shepherd there to force through.
Yeah. Damn. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, this is kind of why I think this card. I hate playing against it.
Arcanus is like so suffocating.
It's funny too because people mention like Elves can be engineer now. I'm like, well, it kind of can be engineer before. This is like worse than engineer on turn 2.
That's quite a statement from a tribal deck.
It like if you don't believe me, just play it yourself, or you can kind of see what's going on here. Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
like, I don't think that's gonna be fast enough, but we gotta hope.
I mean, that's a start.
It is. No, we gotta change some visionaries now.
Ooh. I mean, the issue is like they're built as a Xerox deck, and it's really hard for them to like miss and fuel. Blazing Volley Flashback. That sounds disgusting. Oh, that's a nice draw.
It's a very good draw. I'm gonna visionary because. Oh my
I mean, you
god.
just need the quantity of resource, right?
Yeah, and that's actually a very good draw. Yeah. The problem is they have white, so swords is like very good, but
Oh, whereas they can't bolt it.
yeah, like typically against Rug Delver, like this is game. Like if we untap with it,
Yeah. Damn.
wow. Okay,
Is
we're
this still
back in the
game?
game. We're
Oh
back in the
man.
game.
That bog was brutal.
Okay, so they don't have the removal. I don't. What the heck could their hand be? It's gotta be force, but
I mean, it's gotta be lands or force.
food gives me
Because
life.
I mean, everything else is like Xerox cards, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we just pass here.
What are we trying to reclaim her?
Arbor. Actually,
Okay,
both arbors are gone. Deck thinning now?
just okay. I guess the life doesn't really matter.
No, not in this matchup. Since both arbors are gone. Yeah, just fetch.
Did they play Wasteland?
They don't. Even if they did, I'm still doing it because I have a cradle in hand.
Oh sure, that's funny.
They may force this because they're at. Ooh, they let it through?
We just start attacking with our Delver, right?
Yeah. Because if they had the. Because the thing is, well, actually, we get punished if they draw force. I mean, bolt. But even then,
Right.
even then we still quad block. I think we start attacking with our Delver.
Hmm.
This has been such a big turn of events.
That bog. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is kind of funny actually if we pull this out.
I don't understand. Like,
Wow, and we got
uh,
there.
oh my
This
god.
is nuts. GG.
That bog was so insane. It's like
Wow.
literally like ended their career.
I thought we were like probably like 5% chance to win that game.
Yeah, holy shit.
Wow.
Well, I can definitely see the why Arcanus is like so suffocating though.
Yeah, yeah. Like in the mid game, obviously an engineer is better, but like turn two, man, it just feels like an uphill climb, and we just happened to top deck the bog, and they just didn't draw the cantrips that they needed. They probably drew like lands or permission.
Yeah.
And if I were them, I would have forced the reclaimer. By the way.
Hmm.
Okay. Take a guess how you think we should be boarding in this kind of matchup.
Decay's in.
Yeah, like
Seju in. And Grasping Dunes in.
Yep.
Thoughtseize in. Like that's a lot of ins.
So
Like
no Thoughtseize in this case. Typically, I like Thoughtseize against these control decks, but the problem is when control decks are playing Arcanus, that's how we lose. So we have to prioritize the decay.
right. Okay. So they're not. They're like less like relying on key cards beside Arcanist, and more like Xeroxy, and a lot of their cards do the same thing. So
Hmm.
I can see Thoughtseize not being like correct.
Yeah, I mean, like if they were on a typical like snow deck without Arcanus, I for sure would jam the Thoughtseize because it's more flexible. I just hate losing to Arcanus, so I just rather have the removal here. And it's not
Hmm.
like Engineer where like it's already done its damage, right? Like you can actually stabilize the way we did right now.
Right.
And the
I
reason why I'm
cannot
boarding
believe
this way
one.
is because it's mentioned in chat, right? Blazing Volley. Like we want all our X ones that essentially aren't good by itself out. I
Oh
boarded.
shit.
What happened?
We're basically a mid-range deck
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we board into a mid-range deck essentially, and then we just cheese wins with this card. Like they cannot beat
Jeez, Vince.
it. uh, Against Delver, I would have boarded in Crop. The reason why I'm not here is because we just have too many things to keep in.
Hmm.
And I think the Grasping Dunes is like worth it, right? Because it's like you're not down a land, or this. If we crop rotated for Dunes, we would have been down 2 lands essentially.
Right.
So this is like better in my opinion. I think that looks good. And we board out 1 Cradle because the game can go long.
That makes sense.
We don't want to draw a second.
Don't time out. Okay, you're good.
Keep. This is the
Really?
classic no land keep, right?
What is the hypergeometric say about the?
For Once Upon a Time, I'm like
Yeah.
just under 80% to hit.
So end of turn means we get to dodge force negation, but doing it on your turn means that you get more information on what to take. So what do you do here?
I do it my turn because if I do it on their turn, they're incentivized to do it.
No. Like they can't force negation on your turn, but they can force a will.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want them to accidentally be incentivized to force a will my Once Upon a Time. Is what I mean.
Okay, I see. I see. Do we just take another land?
Yeah. It's very important in this deck to hit land drops.
I'm
Take a
guessing
guess.
we don't. I mean, I'm guessing we don't. We slow roll the shepherd here and put the Korean Ranger
Yeah, because of redundant copies.
and redundant copies. Yeah.
That's really the bigger thing.
They're also not likely to waste land, so shaving a cradle is fine. Yeah, that's also a good point. I see.
Okay, so they don't have the turn 2 Arcanus, which is nice for us. Um, I've seen some ridiculous things where people mode a 4 trying to find Arcanus against elves, which is just I don't know.
Arcane is so ridiculous. Oh god.
Sure, that's my.
It,
We
it,
kind of
it,
expected that. They play like 5 or 6 removal spells, I think.
it feels like a lot more with Dread Arcanist. I would guess.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
So take a guess why I led with a ranger here.
Do they play Days?
What the hell?
What?
Why would people do these things?
I mean, it's Strands of Decay, I guess.
I, I mean, I guess, yeah.
We still have Birch Lore, right?
We do. Oh, actually, we boarded out. Shit.
That is like really funny. Oh my god. Of course it would happen like this.
Yeah, I mean, this card is typically not very good against us, but I mean, I guess that's what happens.
I guess we got.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Mm, is there a reason to play the Shepherd here?
Just
Probably.
exposing it to like Pyroclasm, but you also are mana efficient.
The problem here is the way we board it is now we're getting punished for this Blood Moon. It's another point to the clock.
That's
Huh.
fair enough.
Oh my god.
It's hard for me to say without knowing what their sweeper suite is. Okay, well, there's the Pyroclasm.
Yeah, but I don't think we can win like without applying board.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like especially given that we boarded out the what we did, right? We boarded out the Birch Lore and then we boarded out the Heritage.
Will this incline you to bring back the Birch Lores in Game 3? If we get there?
Potentially. Like this is like super awkward right now.
I mean, you don't. Blood Moon doesn't even beat you a lot of times. Like, you could just, like, float the mana and destroy it too.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Okay.
it's just weird that it happens to like this happens every once in a while where an opponent shouldn't bring in Blood Moon and they do and they get rewarded for it.
I mean, that's what it's cheese, right?
Like it's not supposed to be good against elves.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Like that's kind of madness if you think about
This is madness.
it.
I mean, I have a hard time believing we can win from this spot.
I, I,
It's
I, I think there's only a certain line, a few lines that we can beat this hand. I think we have to draw into a Query Ranger or another Forest, and then draw Natural Order.
hmm. How many forests do you actually play?
How many what? Forest? Two. So
Yeah,
it's just the one of right?
Jesus.
Yeah, I think we it's not we're not dead unfortunately, so we can't just scoop. But I think the odds of us coming back from here are low.
Yeah. I mean, we basically have like 4 blank cards right now. Wow, that Blood Moon was like insane.
So Zachary on chat mentioned classic streamer sniping. Maybe I don't know, man. Like, seems kind of suspect to bring in Blood Moon against us.
It does feel pretty sus to me.
And they also LOL the fact that we brought it. We top decked the Bog.
Did they? Man, BM legacy players, like, there's not a lot of them I've in my experience.
I mean, maybe, but like the problem is elves generally generate so much mana. This is frustrating for sure. Like I understand something like Damping Sphere, which is like nice
Well,
to. Go ahead.
it turns off Bog and Cradle, so maybe it's not the craziest thing.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Just
I
not.
mean, Bog literally you're on Reclaimer, and Bog literally destroyed them, ended the career in game one.
That's fair. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're down to 6. Yeah, I think we're out. Maybe they'll give us some more information.
Man, that Blood Moon actually won the game.
Yeah, it really did. Like we have 2 decays in hand.
Yeah, and 0 Birch Lore. Holy smokes.
Yeah. This Grasping Dunes looks worse too right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Huh.
adjust how we board based on how they're boarding.
Blood
Uh,
Moon.
oh, man. Okay, I think I almost want to cut the Boseiju now,
That seems more than correct.
and then bring back the Birch Lures. Yeah, Boseiju, we probably don't need it. Like we can just try to get it fast Progenitus. They're probably trying to use all the early resources to keep us off balance, anyways. I don't think we
Reclaimer
need.
Bog definitely seems worthwhile, actually. The more I think about it.
Yeah, it could be right for sure.
We also don't know what they're taking out either.
I mean, they kept in the Arcanist, so we still want the decays.
Yeah. Decay for Mentor and, like, Arcanus just, like, seems, like, fine, not to mention, like, Blood Moon.
Hmm. I think we still want the natural order package just because we want a way to just go over the top. It's not like Delver where we can just outgrind them. Keep. Not great, but I think it's good enough. Of course. Of course.
Ay, ay, ay.
All right, so they get one Arcanist trigger. I think we can live with that.
I don't think it was correct there to play the bog to hope for abrupt decay. I think you want to be
Hmm.
mana efficient.
Hmm.
On turn two when we play the visionary.
Right. Just to deploy. Yeah.
Yeah. Court
Arcanist
of
is
Grey.
so annoying.
Yeah, this is why we need abrupt decay is the hero we need. We can't fool around and hope they don't force here. We just gotta pass. Like the problem is if they force, like they get more value off the Arcanist here.
What do you mean? I don't.
Like if we played a
Wait.
creature, because the Cradle gets us mana.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we could be greedy and go for it. The problem is, ugh,
The downside seems incredible. Oh fuck.
that we can beat. Like we can't get this off the board.
Arcanist is so scary.
Yeah,
It's weird that Modern does not have Arcanist running amok, but it makes sense given that like the one drop suite is like so much worse and so less
the
proactive.
legacy, yeah, for sure.
Is this a must counter? I'm assuming it is.
It should be. I have 5 cards in hand. Like
Oh shit.
I, I don't know why they wouldn't counter.
Huh.
This might be a must counter too. Yeah.
Serum Vision. Jeez, yeah. hmm That's an interesting line by them. Is it right? I don't know.
Maybe I lead with the
Off,
Ranger so they
off
don't
lead.
counter it, but I don't know. It's possible I lead with the weaker ones that don't counter it, but maybe they counter it anyway, so I don't draw.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, this is what Bosejo's not as good when opponents are just aggressively countering now, which they
Yeah.
should have done, to be honest, on the glimpse, but strange.
Yeah, it was weird that they let that resolve.
I'm gonna lead with the Wirewood because I want the Reclaimer protected. All right, we are in the game.
I mean, there's some setup here. So what are our best draws here? Visionary would be great. Green Sun would be good. Natural Order probably would be good.
Yeah, we have a lot of good draws here. Green Sun, Visionary, Natural Order, even Glimpse.
Oh, because it can return. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we do need them to not change. Oh my goodness.
Fucking Xerox. Shepherd kind of sounds nice. Is the Shepherd even good in this board? On this board?
No, not here, but we can make our
I
guys
mean,
big so they can't attack.
Mentor's also obnoxious.
I don't think we care. Well, there's the Shepherd, but we're just dead, I think. Yeah.
There's an argument to be made. Maybe we don't want the natural order package. Like we drew this Progenitus. Maybe it would have been something relevant as another creature, but I don't think we were beating this hand.
Progenitus seems worthwhile, but Natural Order as a win con, maybe. I don't know.
Like we don't know what they boarded out. It's possible Archon would have been good here, but we can't even cast it because no Savannah. So that was kind of rough. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's possible they boarded out Teferi, but I had somebody keep it in against me, which is brutal. And then I asked them why would they do that. They said they had nothing else in the sideboard.
I mean, that's a pretty reasonable answer, to be fair.
All right, I'll be right back. Gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, Zachary. Opponent ran kind of hot there, but I mean, we also kind of lucky to draw that bog. So there's
Yeah, the
that.
game was so brutal.
Yeah, we were just blindsided by that
Blood Moon. Oh
Blood
my
Moon.
god.
Yeah. One thing I do want to look up actually real quick before I guess we can click play, but that Legacy deck that deck we just ran
The
into
Mentor
right
deck?
now. I'm just curious what the composition looks like.
I've seen some Twitter posts, but I don't remember who originated it.
Okay, so they're on 2 Lightning Bolt, 4 Swords.
That's interesting.
They have 2 Blood Moon and 2 Pyroclasm out of the sideboard. So maybe that's what they brought in. I would imagine then maybe so they're almost like a Delver deck without the Delver, with Mentors instead.
Huh.
Yeah, that probably doesn't line. We probably still need Natural Order in that matchup because the thing about Delver is you can beat it by going wide and racing it. I don't think we can race a Mentor without the Natural Order package.
Right.
And given that board state, like we have to take off the Arcanist. It's crazy to say that you have to take off the 2-drop, not the 3-drop.
Right. Tricky.
Oh, thanks for the link, Zachary. Yeah, I think we got cheesed out of game two, and then game three they just drew better than us.
Happens.
Yeah, it's funny. Elves is actually one of the decks that was good against Breach during that period. The Golgari decks in general because of Abrupt Decay and Thoughtseize.
Oh. Oh man, that I heard that Lurrus era breach deck or
Mhm.
the breach decks were like insanely good.
They were because they were so resilient. Like they could easily beat, especially against a fair deck, beat something like Leyline of the Void or whatnot because of the Mentor plan.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard it was like Uh, people described it as like as close to playing vintage as like, they've ever gotten with any legacy decks.
From an outsider, because I didn't play the deck, I would think that's probably accurate because I think power level wise, it was just through the roof and very resilient too. I think the only decks that it had some issue with are the Golgari decks, the combo specifically, like uh,
Dark Depth.
Tur- Dark Depths and Elves, because both got to run discard, which lines up real well against their silence effects, and they also both decks gets to play Abrupt Decay, so that's a clean answer, like straight up.
Hmm.
So I think they're on. Well, they could be on Dark Depths, but with well, actually no, they have the Arbor here, so they're probably the green white Reclaimer deck.
I mean, we should smash that deck, right?
Yeah, the one thing that could throw a wrench is if they have Tabernacle, that makes it a lot harder.
Ew.
Yeah, Ley Lines or Deafening Silence were both very good. Also, like it's insane because during that time, decent, I boarded in 14 cards.
Holy shit.
Because it just so happened that Decay was good, and that's typically not a combo card or anti-combo card. And it just so happened that Glimpse was so bad against Brain Freeze, like just mill you out like randomly.
Hmm. Wait, main deck Pithing Needle? Is that for like Wasteland?
Yeah, it is.
Should they name Symbiote or a Korean Ranger?
Uh, if I were them, I would probably name Ranger. Every once in a while, somebody messes up and names Heritage Druid.
That's a mana ability, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in a vacuum, Symbiote's probably stronger, but given that you already have the Korean Ranger on board, like that just seems natural.
Yeah, for sure. Uh,
Oh, you have twin, you have double twin, you have double twin.
if Jarvis is listening, we have double twin right now. Thanks for the reminder.
I'm sure Jarvis would appreciate this.
He would. Too bad he's not tuned in right now.
Hmm.
All right, that Reclaimer was not a bad draw. We have a slower hand, unfortunately. We don't know what they're on, and at least the Reclaimer will unlock a Cradle later on.
I feel like tonight I've heard so much of like you saying that yeah, Reclaimer's a good draw here, or Reclaimer's actually pretty good here. Reclaimer just seems pretty good in this deck.
I think the thing is it just has so many abilities. Like sometimes a 3/4 is like unbeatable for Delver. Other times like you get a Cradle. Sometimes a Bog is just game ending. Like we ended that other player's game one because of that natural Bog. I think this card just has so much text is the problem, or the good thing. So what did they get? Cloud Post and Played It. Okay.
What?
So they're on
Like
mono green Cow Plus. I think this matchup is
very good?
potentially hard.
Really?
Yeah, because of Glacial Chasm.
Oh.
They're tapped out right now.
We can kind of go for it, but it depends. I think we need to go for it here. So the line is we're getting Heritage now. And this is actually one of the matches where Heritage matters.
Glacial Chasm, they can't like infinitely recur it without Loam, right?
They cannot, but the thing is, like, it buys them enough turns where they can just like cast a Emrakul or something like that.
Huh.
Oh
How
god,
interesting.
we potentially no, we didn't mess up.
We did or we did not.
I forgot about the needle, but we're still okay. Like we can still glimpse a decent amount here.
Well, Tabernacle's nasty.
Yeah, Tabernacle is nasty. I think we want to do it this way. We
Can
need the
we like?
mana.
Is there a crop rot into Credo into like Behemoth kill somewhere down the line of this?
We don't have
Templar?
we don't have a main deck crop. I used to just because it kind of fulfills the same role as what is it called? Nettle Sentinel. And you just draw into it, and
Okay.
then you can just lethal them the same turn. But at the moment, I don't have one. I might play it again, just so you have 3 in the deck, or 3 of the
Oh.
75.
Hmm.
But I would have to cut a card. I mean, we draw a lot right here, and we're gonna force out the Glacial Chasm next turn unless they tap out, which they
Hmm.
shouldn't, but maybe they will. I think we want to draw into a natural order here, because we can natural order for an Archon.
Archon for crop rot.
Archon for an instant, yeah. So this is also how you glimpse without Nettle Sentinel. Like you just have to be, you have to be tighter. Essentially, is the only difference. Because that's a frequent question I get. Like, oh, how do you glimpse without Nettle Sentinel? And as you can see, I drew like a good amount still. The only reason why we fizzled because we ran out of 1-drops, not so much because we needed the mana. All right, we gotta pass.
Is like does this is like theory crafting, but like does including one Nettle Sentinel to like tutor for like does that ever open up like the actual combo kill path, or do you need like is it more of like a critical mass, like you need like two or three Nettle Sentinel to like really go infinite?
In my experience, you kind of have to draw it naturally. Like it's harder to do when you tutor for it. It comes up, but I didn't think it was. I didn't think that scenarios where you tutor for Nettle come up enough where I wanted to include as a one of, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Okay.
So I was a little bit sloppy there. I probably could have done it better where I could cast Once Upon a Time, but I don't think it really matters. Like they're more than likely gonna. Oops. They're more than likely gonna Glacial Chasm here with the Reclaimer. Actually, I'll do it correctly. Let's do it this way.
Hmm.
We're looking for an Archon to shut up outs.
Right.
Green Sun here is like pretty good too, but
They
ideally,
can they can they can still just like crop rot, dark depth, and kill you. No, wait. Are we not dead next turn? Maybe I was
we
wrong.
would be, yeah, if they kill us with the Thespian
Dark depth.
stage. Yeah.
So Archon's not even good here, right? They'll just like respond if they have the crop rot.
Oh well, they have the Reclaimer, right? They can
Oh, they
get.
have Reclaimer. Yeah, yeah. So wait, are we fucked regardless if they have Glacial Chasm?
No, because if they don't have the crop rod in hand, um, then they have to find the glacial chasm now, and they can't kill because they have to use up the reclaimer, right?
So threatening lethal here makes him tutor the chasm on bias a turn at least.
Yes,
Okay.
and we have like a ton of mana now, so that's not really the issue. We haven't drawn a natural or green sun though, and we have more than enough attackers. We just need really the one.
Look at those 1-drops. Look at those 1-drops.
That's a lot of lands that we're drawing into.
How can you even tell which symbiote have you used?
There's like a thing when you zoom in, like there, it's like highlighted.
Okay.
I actually always just click still because I'm too lazy to remember.
I've seen in paper you turn it upside down or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Wow, we have like 1.5 million mana.
Yeah.
So we're just looking for natural order?
But we drew the Archon already.
Oh, we did, okay.
Yeah. So
So what are we
here
trying to do here?
we're gonna name instant, and that shuts off at least us dying. So they're thinking about responding here.
So huh. So if they let it resolve, they can make a 20/20, but we will murder them with the behemoth. And if they don't do that, and then we have a behemoth, they have to use the reclaimer to get the chasm.
Yes. So I think the latter
Either
scenario
way,
is more likely. Yeah. So
I
I think they're thinking about cropping here.
I see. So if they crop for Dark Depth, then they're dead.
If they crop for Dark Depths, not necessarily because they don't have to do it right away. So they can still activate the reclaimer for the glacial chasm.
Okay, yeah, so they're not forced to do it right now.
Right.
Can they do both? Can they chasm and make a Merit Lage?
They can.
They can.
They can. Yeah.
So if they have a crop rot, then we're dead either way, then, right?
No, because we can block with Archon
Oh, Archon has
flying.
flying. Okay, I see. Yeah,
So
that escaped me. Yeah, it has flying. It looks like it's flying.
yeah, it has a million abilities actually, which is kind of funny. It randomly has vigilance and trample too.
Oh.
All right.
Hello, Francisco.
There's no reason to continue here. Like we just attack with everything.
Do they play Blaststone?
I don't believe so. I
Is
think
Blaststone like even played in Legacy?
yeah, it is out of lands. Lands plays it.
Okay, that makes sense though.
Here, I'm gonna add you guys to mod. How do you
Oh,
how?
hot diggity. I'm assuming this is Chasm then.
Uh, there you go.
Thank you.
It has to be chasm because they die otherwise. Yeah.
So they can't advance the board, right? They don't have like a life in the loam expiration or anything. They're just gonna keep losing ground.
So from this board state in the past, I've lost because what they can do is chain more cloud posts, and eventually they cast Emrakul and you lose.
But they lose a land every turn, right?
Not every turn. They lose life every turn.
Oh, okay, that's problematic.
Yeah, it is. Like that's why this matchup can be hard.
Reading is OP, but I'm just a casual Timmy, Francisco. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to you. Creatures you control cannot attack. I see. So we're not in the best spot then, are we?
No, we're not in a good spot at all.
Oh
Like
god.
we can still very much lose.
Should have played the Rens pack, whatever, the Drain Elf.
A shaman of the pack.
Shaman of the pack, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
this is
assuming
the.
that card's not good enough for a legacy.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
So this is actually the reason. Yeah. So they have more cloud posts, unfortunately, coming their way. Like, this is actually the reason why I'm playing the Wasteland of the sideboard. This particular matchup because of Glacial Chasm. Like this deck is actually more popular at the moment because Tony Murata into play the username has been doing really well with it.
What's his name? What's his username?
Into play.
Oh, isn't he one of the top trophy board people?
I don't think so, but I know he's like got a bunch of top eights in a row with it for challenges. I think there's
recognize that name.
yeah, there's no reason here because we don't have the oof main to be bouncing our visionaries. Like we just have to accept the fact that we're just sitting ducks essentially for now. Yeah, Tony has been killing it, like Francisco said. Francisco, congrats on the 5-0 earlier, by the way. I saw your tweet.
Modern in this economy, Francisco. Modern is fun again, lols.
So why did everybody get off the amulet train, by the way, Francisco? I believe Karn's good, yeah. That's for sure. I know I lost to it when I was playing Modern.
Karn beats Belcher.
Karn does beat
Yeah.
Belcher.
Modern's like slowed down like significantly. There's no more format police that polices Amulet, so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, what did they get right now? Oh, they got another cloud post.
You know, Francisco, one of these days you feel so safe and you feel like you're on the top of the world, top of the food chain, and I'm gonna ambush your Modern challenge with like Neoform, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It is, Zachary, but it's beatable. Like Green White Reclaimer has a good matchup against it.
I fucking hate Omnath so much.
Excavator. You have got to be kidding me.
Is that main deck? What the heck?
It is. It actually makes sense.
Francisco, are you calling me? Are you calling someone out? That's like really rude and like really too soon. You know, like the wound is still a bit deep.
So,
well, if you recall, like Bogles and like Prowess, like those were some of the top decks that top aided the mocks. Like if I dodged the Omnath, like the third of the field that was Omnath, like I would have been golden. And like to be fair, in a small field, I'm fine taking a stance. I'm fine needing a bit of luck. But I also acknowledge that I reap what I sow, and I hated Modern, and I was making a statement, so that's totally fine. No, yeah, we're just robots here. We're just like slaves to numbers and turn 1 kills. Yeah, this does not look good at all.
This is like one of the most miserable feelings. The fact that you're ahead on board, but you can't win.
This is like the same feeling that people had against Lantern Control. Lantern, I'm not sure if you played Modern back then, but Lantern Control was like amazing. It's like the triumph of the people, triumph of like the common people, like cobbling up like these like draft commons and like these cards that look junky and like useless, and then like they just like work together like just well enough to like find like it was honestly a tier 1 deck, and people hated playing against it.
It won multiple GPs, right? I'm just dead, Francisco.
Zach Elsick.
Unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. Sorry, what you were saying?
It won the PT, yeah, because what's the I think it's the Argentinian Luis Salvato. Like it had so many free wins. It was incredible. It's sad to me that like cool decks like that also went extinct because of fucking Blue and Modern Horizons and War and all that. Kind of sad. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
I thought the deck was cool. It just looks miserable to play with and against, though. I guess
Yeah, but like
it's fun for the player, I guess, not fun for the opponent.
well, no, I actually find the cat and mouse game, even from the other side, to be very interesting. Like, I don't agree that like Lantern's like not fun to play around, play against, because when you're locked, like the when you reach the point where you're locked, like the games are actually pretty fast. Like, it's up to you to know like when to conserve time and like scoop. Otherwise, it's just your fault.
That's true. It's like Miracles before when countertop was legal. It's like your fault
Oh,
for
countertop seems miserable. Oh my god.
yeah, especially for an elf player back then. I
Oh
think I'm just
god.
dead. This might be Evercool here.
Like basically, right? Because like Lantern's trying to surgically dismantle your game plan. Like it's like a house of cards. You have to do it in the right order. You have to like surgically close off all your outs, and when you're on the other side, you have to like surgically dismantle the house of cards one by one. I found it pretty interesting, at least personally.
Hmm. Yeah, I played. Yeah, I got into L's when countertop was legal. Not very pleasant experience. Although the thing
Countertop
is,
seems impressive as fuck.
it was. So at that time, I remember a lot of my good friends played Miracles, and even though it's not a good matchup for me, I got good at the matchup in general because I played against good players and just an uphill climb in general. Cavern of
Hmm.
Souls was very good at the time. That's true. There was no reclaimer though, so you have to naturally draw it or play multiple and just make screw the mana base. What's up, Legacy Council? We are in a lot of trouble here. Thinking maybe we should just concede.
Aren't we like deterministically? Oh, they have Glimmer Post. Yeah, I mean, we can't win, right?
I'm
Oh
trying to
no.
think. Let's see. They're gonna cast Ulamog here.
Lol.
Play for the clock. I think what
It's
they're
okay. You're a Mox competitor. You play to your outs. I
gonna.
don't mind. The viewer doesn't mind.
That is funny because so the marks from 2019. Everybody knows what happened with what's his name, Michael Jacob, and who's the other guy?
Oliver Q. That was wild. I was watching like live. That
And
was like
Oliver
really
Q.
really wild.
So
Yeah.
immediately after the actions of or what happened that day between those two, the email I get, there's a specific line that mentions you are not expected to concede if your opponent has an infinite loop, and that was not in the email for the other people. I'm aware of that.
I'm like, that sounds oddly specific. I wonder what happened.
So I asked Ozymandias, Matthew Vook, because he was in the 2019 mocks. He's like, "Was this in your email?" He's like, "No, it wasn't. They specifically had it because of that scenario."
That is like hilarious.
Yeah. Yes, Elf Gaming going on. A lot of Splinter Twin, but unfortunately, Splinter Twin didn't get there this game.
Oh no, it's X-Fish? Just kidding. How's it going, Will?
So Will is one of the guys, along with Levi, who's also was in this chat earlier, and a Francisco,
Oh,
who helped me with the Green White Reclaimer.
I'm surrounded by Titan Kabbalists.
I know.
I
All
need
the good
I
guys are
need
here.
backup.
All the Primeval
I
type
need
people are here.
I need my Neoformist Cabal members as backup. I'm being surrounded. All the good guys, quote unquote, Francisco.
What do you think, Chad? Should I concede, or is the clock relevant enough yet?
To- I'm totally into like fucking making work for it.
It's just really awkward. Normally they would have killed us, right? The thing is, we have an Archon to block. Is the reason.
That's fair.
Although they can start attacking with his Olimar, I guess. But
No, Francisco, you don't know the biology of the Allosaurus. Like the Allosaurus hibernates from November to March typically, so we're just like hibernating and until we come back strong here. You know, in like the Innistrad set, they're gonna reprint the Allosaurus Shepherd and or rise to the top again.
Okay, now we're dead because of the mill.
Why? Oh, okay. Wow. I was like half paying attention because I thought the game was like almost over. I didn't realize that our library was already going
we
on
draw
that
we
low.
drew, we drew a million off the glimpse is the reason too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's like pretty funny. So
We
what
glimpsed too hard.
they just reclaimed away the chasm?
I guess so. Yeah. They're gonna Emrakul? 15? Yeah, it's gotta be Emrakul.
Style points. I really hope they time out. I really hope they time out. Oh, whoa! Is Emrakul Caracas twin? It's twin.
It is twin, yes. Jarvis, if you're listening, we have twin assembled again on the other side.
Man.
Thanks, Alice.
Oh, this upkeep cost. Okay. No,
Maybe.
our opponent might be a Timmy who just wants to do their Timmy shit. That's okay. And then when they time out, then that's totally fine. Francisco passing the turn in this economy. Come on, you got a style. Of course, they're just BMing.
It's funny because keep in mind, this is only game one. Like, they want to take the chance that. Thanks, Alice. Appreciate it. I mean, they had to kill. They could have just passed the turn.
Well, they already have the kill.
Yeah, that means they still have to kill. Yeah. We don't have a second blocker. How funny would it be if I played, that card Wildborn Preserver? Is actually chump the 15/15?
That would be pretty funny. The reach, yeah.
Alright, now we gotta bring in our haymakers in the crop rotation and wasteland package.
Did elves ever play Ramnap excavator effects?
I've run it like on and off in this build. Not the traditional build with Neto doesn't run it at all because you can't do like nasty things with it.
Because it doesn't play like Wasteland.
It doesn't play Wasteland. It doesn't play like Cabal Pit, which I usually have.
Ooh, Cabal Pit
Oh,
and excavator.
Nurturing Peatland I would have if I ran it.
Hmm.
What am I taking out? I took out the Bog because I think I don't need it for the Excavator Chasm thing. Like, we have the Wasteland. The question is whether we want Thoughtseize or not. I feel like we probably don't.
Don't you still want to like goldfish them?
Yeah, I think we just want to race. I don't even think we want the Thoughtseizes. So, yeah, I think we just run this back. We added like speed essentially with the crop rotation, and then are out to like that nasty lock with Wasteland.
Yeah, Legacy Council. He definitely included the Boseiju on my behalf just to be. I do
The
appreciate
Boseiju is
that.
more for fun. I used to run it a lot. I think this is a keep. Not the best, but it's like okay. It's like a
Hmm.
turn 3 goldfish.
Is it really?
Yeah, the
I guess Cradle's that strong.
Cradle's the strongest card in the deck, like by far.
Oh god, Wildborn plus Symbiote. Oh my god. Demonstrate that loop.
Another Ranger, perfect.
don't think we have black right now, so I'm just gonna threaten it anyways.
Hmm.
They don't have wasteland. It's not the reason why the deck is playable, but it's the reason why the deck is probably tier 1.
Man, Cradle can be so good.
I think the glue of the deck is Glimpse, to be honest. Because they have to respect it, and if they don't, they just can lose. What would you play if the deck Cradle were banned? I probably would not play this deck. I don't think it's like good enough.
Well, they play Library? That's interesting.
Ugh, okay, so we need to draw. What would I play? I don't want to convert to the dark side and play a blue deck.
Newton,
know-
don't do it.
I know. Since you're on right now, I know Jonathan would be very mad at me if I played Delver.
Protest. Don't do it. Or maybe you can play green blue elves with Uro.
It's not that far off. Okay, why did they draw 8 with library? That makes no sense. Unless they're cropping. Oh my god.
So there's our out for Chasm.
Yeah, but I don't feel good about having to pass the turn again. We need a second elf.
I like how the chat is just like trying to sell you on all different types of pet decks.
Doomsday is
not
actually a deck I own, so I wouldn't mind switching to that. I don't own it on Moto, but I own it in real life.
So you wouldn't glimpse there with the 1 creature, but you would glimpse with 2?
Yeah, in general, you want to glimpse with at least 2 creatures,
Huh.
or 1 and a Wirewood.
If they jam, if they jam Merit Lage here, like, aren't we fucked?
We have a crop rotation. Actually, actually, our wasteland's in hand. Fuck.
Yeah, we only have 1 Wasteland, right?
We all.
So, so
Okay,
it probably would behoove us to play it out. Oh, that's a good draw.
Yes, it probably would behoove us to play it out in case they crop. So, in case they do it for whatever reason in response. Actually, if they would have played around it, they would have done it already. I think so. I'll just like not play around.
Yeah, the land drop might be more important if you want to go for the kill.
Yeah.
Fetching Arbor on 1. What do we do? So we want to wait on the Kratos for as long as you can, right? So you want to bounce by you and use the Dread and all that?
I think fetching on 1 would have made this game a bit easier. Yeah, probably. I didn't think I would miss that many creatures in a row.
Oh, so they don't have the crop rod.
They
So
could.
we have the
Go ahead.
So we have the license to go ballistic this turn, I guess.
Yes.
How likely is it to have find a kill from this spot?
High, in my opinion, because of Wirewood.
It's just Nat Order, right?
Yeah, natural order is lethal here, and essentially a Wirewood is +2 when draws.
Well, the Chasm stage setup is like pretty brutal. Oh, Wirewood refuels your hand, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a Shepherd. Does that do it?
There's Natty O.
Oh, there's the Natty O.
How many untaps do we have? We have 2. I think from this point it's lethal. Nutty Jew.
So we still get to play her out in case, for some reason, if they're slow rolling the crop draw, we can still play the Wasteland and play around the Chasm, right?
Yeah, I think here we'll have a bunch of attackers. I think I want to pitch the 1 Wirewood that's already used up.
Oh well, Francisco, you have a winning record with elves. Like, do you offer coaching? I'll PM you.
Alright, we play the Wasteland now.
Yeah. And then now we should be pretty locked here.
I think we bounce the Shepherd. Yes, I saw Francisco with my own 2 eyes go 3-2 with elves on stream. No help with me whatsoever. He did it on Christmas too, so style points, right? I think we just run it back. We did go 3-2, Francisco, in that first stream. This one, we are trying to go avoid going 0-3. But granted, we got kind of unlucky so far. Ugh, this hand is not good. So this can happen actually with too many shepherds in the deck. Like you just can't make mana.
Yeah.
I wonder if I think we can do better. Yeah, this is like far better. The reason why we pitched the Once Upon a Time is just too tempo negative. The second one. Kind of unlucky is the worst kind of. That's so true. You should the alt key on obs to make sure you can make your camera on the proper size. What does that mean, Francisco? Oh, I see. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like your camera has like a lot of window space.
Alt key. Does that work? Let's see. It seems blurry at the moment.
Francisco, I appreciate the architecture. I think his window is gorgeous. Okay.
I think we take the fetch to the deck then. Alright, I'll adjust in a second. It looks blurry to me, but let me see. Oh, okay, now it's more clear. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'll probably have to adjust it later on. I think so. You're talking about making the window smaller, right, Francisco? Or, yeah, smaller, I guess. There's a lot of extra space, is what I'm... Pithing Needle, Jesus, okay.
Did we bring decays, Newton?
We did not. We just were trying to go fish.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's right, but I was just curious.
There aren't that many targets is the problem.
Just the needles, I guess, and the reclaimer.
It's possible, yeah, we bring in one decay just to deal with situations like this. I have not been in this situation before, so that I apologize for. I think I bring in this. Or I play it right now and see how they respond. It does, for sure. We need the mana is the reason, and I can bounce it with Wirewood, Bloomy 77/7. Also, because of this may happen. If they're smart, they take out the Wirewood. Like now, I don't think they should wait. No, you cannot play Assassin's Trophy in my opinion. Assassin's Trophy is soft banned for now until Arcanus is banned.
Wait, why?
You have
The mana is like brutal.
no because
Well, the counter ability or the
yeah,
counter,
yeah,
not the
we have to
counter.
take we have to take Arcanus off the board.
Hmm.
So I bounce right now because I want a glimpse. Oh, we did not draw a creature. Who cares? I mean, they're gonna kill Shepard on sight. Also, giving them the basic land is not good. Like a lot of rogue lists are running one island now. It's possible we might be dead here. No wasteland available, and if they have a crop, we're in trouble. Ugh. We're not gonna be able to clock them out. They're at 4 minutes. Unfortunately, wait, was that right? Oh, they must have been short 1 mana, huh? I thought we were dead. Why does this deck not play Rex Sage anymore? It feels pretty good to me. The reason I just think it's a very awkward draw, Francisco. Some people still like. Oh my god, we needed to hit any creature, but we have to go now. Like we died this turn, so we have to hope that we draw into the natural order for it. Yeah, it's very mana intensive, and it's very reactive. Is the other problem. Alright, we gotta get lucky one time. Natural order.
Come on, RNGesus, let's go.
And buy time. Alright, so they're playing around the Assassin's Trophy, which is fine. We cut Karak. Yeah, we did. Unfortunately, like we're getting punished this league for cutting the Karakas.
We also played against 2 Reanimator, which is like pretty funny.
We somehow. Oh my goodness. These draws are just brutal.
Rest in peace.
Alright, we just concede.
Oh, GG.
Like I think there's a chance we can actually at least buy one turn, an Archon, and then kill on the crackback. I mean, it's a side grade to Rex Sage. I think it's okay, but I just don't think very highly of Rex Sage personally. So we are 0-3.
Sad.
Yeah, we can either start a new league. Actually, let's do this. Like, I have no incentive to play out this league, but we can just start another league and just play one more match just for the stream.
Sure.
We want to end on a good note.
I just wanna crush some blue net deckers.
We haven't got to use the Baseju yet, which is sad. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll get a chance right here.
Huh.
Losing on purpose. That's quite a strategy. I think that only works if you play against like known grinders, so they don't know your tech, or they think you're a sloppy player. Let their guard down. So that during the real tournaments, they underestimate you. So far we went 3-2 and to 0-3. And we'll play one more here. Try to end on a good note. Oh, actually, since we're talking about cool text, land text, or just for the deck in general, this is a card that I kind of want to try. Like, I was looking through Goldfish, Scryfall earlier today, and came across this card. Not this card, but this card. This is potentially interesting, I think. Like as a
Oh my god.
as the Lord effect.
Oh my god.
I've definitely played worse. I'll leave it at that.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness, I think we're playing as the same person.
Seriously.
I think so. I didn't.
The scent seems good. That's
Yeah, Ori can produce green, which is nice. The problem is, you need it early. Like, it's not a good top deck. What's up,
Hey, man.
Max? How's it going? We got the whole stream. Essentially, this is Jonathan and the entire green-white reclaimer cabal. Alice and David Sittinger
Titan
are here too.
Cabal. Titan Cabal feels weird, man.
The Titan cabal.
Put a 1/1 counter on each green creature. That's extremely grindy.
It is, and the problem is not a great top deck too, because you kind of want it early. That's why I think the contested Warzone might be better.
Huh.
I've actually 5-0 with Gavany Township in this list before, believe it or not.
Former modern staple.
I know, right? Alright, this hand, just got a lot better. Let's do this. I'm here to send high counsel to invest. Thank you. No bad cards. It's usually 2 bad cards, Max. Progenitus and the land choice, and the whatever I feel like playing for the land. What's it called?
Wait.
Flavor of the month.
Wait a minute. Is Nettle Sentinel a bad card? Feels weird, man.
I think it's kind of bad personally, or win more, I should say. Is face down, I guess.
Well, look at you demonstrating the loop. Can we green suns for? Wait, why do we do that face down? One more.
No, just for kicks.
How does morph work?
You can just pay 3 and it's a 2/2. I mean, we have lethal next turn, so.
How
Yes,
does
Splinter
Legion-
Twin is in play. Oh my goodness. David is a life singer. Where is Jarvis when we need him right now? To point out Splinter Twin.
Jarvis is the real arbiter of Splinter Twin situations.
Okay, they're stopping Splinter Twin situation, but we have a big boy coming in.
Wait, what are they even named?
They're gonna name Symbiote, I would guess.
Symbiote, right?
Yeah,
And then
I mean they
they're-
got to, I guess, but they might not because why didn't I respond and do it in response?
I mean, they're pretty fucking dead.
I love Francisco's playing Nettle when you can play Reclaimer.
Wait, Francisco, you have a not like this emote? That's interesting.
All right, now it's our turn to exact vengeance on the inferior Green Sun deck.
Get
All right.
fucked.
Now we board into the 1 decay because we know there's shenanigans naming Wasteland.
Slowly decay. Trickster for kids.
Yeah, I think all we need is 1 decay to deal with the menacing Pithing Needle on Wasteland. I don't think we care about any of the other stuff. Like, there's an argument, but for Oof, I think that's just like kind of near. Actually, it's good against. It's nice to have an out against Walking Ballista, so maybe.
That's fair.
I don't know. I don't know how many ballistas they play though.
Why is Esper Vile dead?
Oh, why is it dead?
Yeah.
I heard it's because people know how to play against it now.
Oh.
Green on green violence. What do you think? Do we need the Oof here? Like, I don't think they have many ballistas. Yeah, I heard it's because people know how to play against it now, so it doesn't get as many free wins. I don't know how accurate that statement is. It's just what I heard. Yeah, I think we just want to be fast. Like, now we have the one decay to answer the wasteland. Or the need on the wasteland. Esperval is fun. I haven't played it, but I would guess it's fun based on my experience playing D&T.
Reval does look hella fun.
I don't think it's dead. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not dead. Like, I haven't seen it as much lately. Yeah, Aberration seems real good for it. So this hand is like real good. Or decent enough, I should say. We have like a turn 3 or 4 kill, I think. It's not the best, but it's like okay. So, any idea what the next turn is, Jonathan? Since you're a Jedi in training. You're actually Ewok by now. I love it.
It's like tap to try arbor, play the symbiote.
Yeah, Jeff's real good. I talk to him every once in a while. I'm trying to get him to play elves, but he's still playing some other decks at the moment. He's playing Snow at the moment. Oh, nice. Yeah, 4-1 is solid, like for sure.
I have no idea what to do. What do I do?
So we need the way this deck wins is with mana, and how we unlock our hand is with Green Sun for 1 for Queen Ranger because it's net even.
Oh, Crew Ranger, return the Bayou. So that generates 2 mana because we don't have a land drop otherwise, and then you play the Visionary, I would guess?
Yes, exactly.
Huh. That's an interesting line.
We saved the
If
other
I
Green
didn't
Sun
know-
for Heritage Druid.
If I didn't know any better, this is a mirror match.
It does does look like it.
Prop Rot. What are they even rotating for?
Cloud Post. We're playing the same opponent from last game.
I know, but like, I wonder what they need to prioritize, whether it's a depth kill or like ramp or like glacial chasm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're playing. So Max is on 1 Crow Mox. That's kind of interesting. I know Dead Guy Ale does that, like, so it kind of makes sense. We don't have a kill. Maybe we need. I think we're gonna probably Reclaimer for a Cradle pretty soon. Just unlock our hand. Like. Luckily, they don't have.
Cradle's like still broken.
Say that again.
Being able to tutor for a Cradle is like pretty broken.
It is. Speaking from my
Like
own.
by extension, Cradle is pretty broken.
This is the best Cradle deck, in my opinion, in Legacy. Like, you just, between Once Upon a Time, Reclaimer, you just have like a million ways to find it.
That's fair. Max, you played the Grixis Doomsday, right? The grindy one? Yeah. Seeing elves work in full capacity is like so fun.
I think we just want to just draw
Visionary?
cards now, yeah.
Yeah, and then play the symbiote. Yeah, that seems decent to me.
Oh my goodness, there we go.
What is the play? Do we just like spew everything?
Oh, it's brutal because we don't have, we can't lethal them because Hoofs
Crater Hoof.
is in hand, but that's okay. We can still natural order this turn and just shut off a lot of outs for them. I think I like that.
Like instant?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else does instant shut off? Is it just like Crop Rot?
Once Upon a Time?
Once upon a time, but crop rod's obviously the very big one.
Mm-hmm.
Shepherd, yeah.
I think this, given the board state.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we can just attack with Shepherd too.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a kill next turn like multiple ways through.
I mean, they could have net.
They
They
can
can
reclaim her
reclaim
for
for
the chasm, but then they're set back on lands, which I think we
Yeah.
can live with.
But that gives them like 10 turns, right?
I mean, we have reclaimer for Wasteland too, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, that setup seems reasonable to me. So they can't even. Dark Depth doesn't even save them, right? We just like slam the fucking Crater Hoof.
Let's see. How do I threaten lethal while leaving a mana for the reclaimer?
Math.
It is definitely math.
Have a good night, Legacy Council.
Alright, see you, Legacy Council.
Hmm.
So this forces it out.
Because this is lethal.
Yeah.
And then next turn we can waste. Legend of Jaylene, hello. I mean, we are setting their mana back like materially here, and then we can waste them. I assume they only play one chasm, right?
Yeah, they only have one. I mean, they have ways to recur with, what is it called? The Raminat Excavator, but...
But not at instant speed, which we're about to murder them.
Right.
At instant speed.
This is one of the harder matches, and like I said, one of one of the reasons why I'm playing Wasteland at the moment.
Right. Yeah.
Let's do this. All right, we can't get the Wasteland this turn, but we can do it next turn. Unless we can also just naturally draw into the crop rotation too, or the Wasteland.
Hmm.
Oh, we're gonna see a sick play actually.
Sick play.
We're gonna see a natural order for a target I usually don't get, but it can come up.
Oh, curious.
Actually, let me see if it's still in the deck. Yeah,
I'm
perfect.
doing alright, Legend. Newton seems to be having a good time as well. What are we doing here? A target that you usually do not get. Huh.
Oh, I just realized I can't. I haven't named on instant, which is funny.
Oh, that's global.
All right, let's do it this way. Elvish gravity.
Bigger elves hit harder. Lol. Okay, now I really want to know what your play is.
You'll see it shortly.
I bet I will.
Oh, they actually have the needle on Wasteland?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not see that.
Oh.
Maybe I should have
Ruh-roh.
named. Maybe I
Yep.
should have named whatever then. Artifact.
Well, I guess that's the case, huh? Because if we name artifact, they can crop off for the chasm, but it won't matter because we can destroy it.
Hmm.
Maybe that was the right move.
So this is what I normally would natural order for. Another wirewood. Or in this case,
Oh,
visionary is good here.
is
If
there a
I,
plan to just like dig for decay and murder them?
well, we can't even decay because of the Archon, which is awkward now.
Oh,
So maybe we just have to like just be stuck like we were in the other game.
oh no, this is kind of disastrous.
This is yeah. This
Wait,
is, I was
can we
not expecting that.
return? Archon's not an elf, right?
Archon is not an elf. It isn't.
We can't. Is there any way for us to return it? Oh, this is
There
this is
isn't, but I think from these board states, it's hard for them to win still.
really.
The reason
They
being
build
is
up
if you,
enough, right?
huh?
They need to build up enough mana in time, and they have 9 turns.
Yeah, if you do it early, it's hard for them to win because they have so little resources.
Yeah, I hope so. I want to see you win. Go out with a bang, so to speak.
Lesson learned: this might be need to be an artifact in the future.
I didn't realize this is actually a deck.
It's actually pretty good, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, Tony Murata Interplay has been killing it with it.
Oh, Archon can block Mirror Age, but I assumed that if they had the choice, they would have tried to murder us with Eldrazi.
Tabernacle?
What are they
Why,
doing?
why would they pitch a cloud post? Doesn't make any sense.
We can pay for the Tabernacle. That's what the Cradle's for, right? What the fuck? They went out green? That's interesting.
Oh yeah, they kind of knew the writing was on the wall. Like from this position, it's very difficult because they don't have the mana, and just like elves, they're very mana hungry, and having them need to chasm early sets them back a lot.
Okay, so forcing them to act. I see.
Yeah, because the problem is every time they chasm, they're down 2 lands essentially, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
the reason why it didn't work, the reason why we weren't able to beat it the other game was because they got it kind of late, and they already had the mana developed. Or sorry, our kill was late, I should say. But
Yeah.
hopefully, today was pretty enjoyable though for you. I know we struggled there during that second league, but at least we
Oh,
ended off. Huh?
that was pretty educational for me. I mean, the thing is, like, for a new player like me, even like the baseline lines are like not obvious. Like you like Green Sun Xenothing for like Korean Ranger to like basically mini Dark Ritual Rite of Flames, for example. That was like really cool. So that was definitely cool to like observe like a master at work, really. So
Yeah,
thanks for having me on. Yeah.
I would say yeah. This deck is like very difficult for sure, and like in my opinion, the hardest legacy deck around because the Reclaimer angle adds a lot to the deck, and the deck even before Reclaimer was already difficult, and it just adds a new dimension. Not to mention the balancing of the aggro and the combo plan. The
Reclaimer seems super powerful.
Yeah, like I think you said it earlier, right? I kept that you mentioned. Oh, it seems like every few minutes you're mentioning. Oh, this is a good draw. And it's like a Reclaimer.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
think
like seems really strong.
I think the only thing I would probably change from today's list is if it were me, I probably wouldn't play this because I don't think it's necessary.
Sure.
But
You
everything
did it for
else
the
is kind of
memes.
needed at the moment, huh?
You did it for the memes. Let's not kid ourselves. It's all good. I appreciate the meme, Seiju.
I mean, before Shepherd and when Snow was the most popular deck, I think Berseju is actually really good in that kind of metagame. But I think my personal opinion is Rug Delver is probably the best deck in my opinion right now
Right.
because Snow is kind of vulnerable to combo, whereas Rug Delver is kind of good against everything.
Yeah, I
The
thought combo was dead, but apparently not.
Wait, say that again.
No, I thought combo's dead, but apparently it's not. Which is interesting.
I think combo is kind of dead at the moment. Me personally, the only good, so to speak, combo decks are
Like
ones that are not
Doomsday.
linear. So like elves. I think
Oh,
Karn Echo
sure.
is combo-ish.
I mean, even the Doomsday list that like maxed it well, for example, where there was like the grindy version with like Arcanist and Baleful Strix, because if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, I actually agree with Doomsday. I'm sorry, with Francisco. Doomsday is actually very good. The issue is it kind of has a bad, from what I've heard,
Delver
Delver
matchup.
matchup, but it's very good against everything else. And so I take that back. Doomsday is actually very good, and probably the best spell-based
Honestly,
combo deck.
honestly, like I just don't accept having playing a combo deck that is weak to Delver as a deck that's popular as Delver.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't have any so-called dedicated Delver cards. Well, actually, now I do. One, this
Decay.
this meme deck, this meme card,
Oh,
Grasping Dooms.
that's funny.
But like everything, all my decisions are basically like, what is the better card against Delver? So like, if it's this and Assassin's Trophy,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Decay. I agree. I think the Grasping Dooms Francisco is legit. Based on the times I played against Delver, because crop rotation now is now also a removal spell. Because you don't actually care about Delver, like because Reclaimer outclasses it. Like your losses are typically to turn two Arcanist, and you don't have removal, and you just have a higher density. The Wasteland is for specifically that post matchup, which is kind of annoying, but a necessary evil. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it going for sure, Francisco. I really hate the card personally. More than Euro, more than Oko, which I don't even mind those two. Earl's actually not the worst in my opinion because it's a little slow. Like they have to tap out two times in a row for it.
Earl, yeah. The thing is, like,
It's
Earl's
obnoxious, but
gameplay is
like
so repeated. It's just
yeah,
like literally the same shit you see in Historic, in Pioneer, in Modern, in Legacy. It's like replaying the same shit over and over and over again. I don't think it's interesting whatsoever. And it's
the
a
thing
great
is,
problem.
the thing is, it makes it very difficult to for like there's only certain answers to it because of the recursion, and I think that's the problematic part with the card. But it is a little
Yeah.
slow, like, and that's why I think combo tends to be favored against Snow, especially since
I mean,
Snow is like right now, in my opinion, focused on beating Delver and beating Elves.
they don't have the clock.
They don't have a clock exactly, yeah.
Eventually, like, combo's gonna like catch up to you.
hmm Yeah, I think this list, I think it's fine. Something I'm considering is maybe moving one of the crop to the main, but that's like, you know, splitting hairs and whatnot at the moment.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick this. This the thing is, right? Like there's like a legacy PTQ or a showcase in 2 weeks. Like I just like have very little confidence that I can even play this at like a 70th percentile proficiency. It just like seems like very specific.
I think if you want to play a legacy deck that doesn't require like perfect play right now, that's actually decent. I think that Oops deck is stronger than it should be for a turn zero deck or turn one deck.
You mean the Jax deck?
Well, Jax is one of the people who play it, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think that deck is a lot better than it should be for a deck that can win on turn one, if that makes sense.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I'm
I
not
might not
buying.
even play the showcase. I might like play the Sunday Pauper showcase. I might not play at all. But yeah, one of these days I'd love to like be able to be proficient with elves. I think elves is a very interesting deck.
For sure, and then we can always run it back too. Like, and anybody on chat who wants to be on stream with me, that invite. I mean, I know most of you guys who are in chat. Any of you guys want to be on stream with me? That'd be cool too. So offer's always open. Just message me privately.
What a gracious host! Look at that.
I mean, I only have 9 viewers, so it's not like I'm opening up to the huge community or anything like that. But
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I think this deck is like really good. We didn't run too hot today, but I think also our matchups were kind of strange.
Like freaking double reanimated to start the stream. Like, is this gonna be another like one of those streams? But then we recovered fairly well, so I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, we started the stream with double reanimator in a row without Leyline in the void, which is kind of funny.
That was really really funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It was just funny because it was the same guy or girl.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I think I think I'll probably cut the. Oops. I guess I have to finish out this league, but I would probably cut the Boseiju going forward, and then the sideboard is actually pretty flexible. Even though I say like we need certain spots for Delver, like you can just eat the percentage points that you want to.
I appreciate the meme, anyways. Boseiju is fun. Just like run back of an old favorite.
Let me see if I have any nice screenshots of Boseiju from the past. I'm sure I do. Let me just bring that up for the stream real quick.
Did you say that you did stream it before? Sorry, you did.
I used to play it a lot actually when Snow was the most popular deck.
Huh, interesting.
Because it's just so funny to watch because they panic when this card hits the table.
I mean, it was a big reason why like Show and Tell traditionally farms miracles, if I recall correctly.
Okay, here's a screenshot. So I have the Boseiju on board, and they're obviously not very happy about this.
Oh my god. Boseiju, I was gonna say Boseiju also beats Chalice, but like that's not as relevant, I guess.
It doesn't really beat Chalice because the only Chalice number you care about is on 1.
Or, yeah, exactly.
But it's funny because this happened multiple times when I first started playing Boseiju. I would run into these show and tell players, and they would be very upset because I'm using their own tech against them.
That's like the worst feeling. That's like so funny.
Because that's what you think of, right? Legacy Boseiju is typically show and tell tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just kind of funny. All right, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks Jonathan for being an awesome guest. I think we learned both a lot, himself and myself. Like, it's good to bring in 1 decay, I guess, against the Cloud Post decks, for instance, in case they want to pithing needle your wasteland. Thank you, Lynn Chalice. Appreciate that. Any closing words, Jonathan, that you want to add? I know.
Yeah, I just like to say that one, thank you for being a good host, Newton. It was very educational, and two, forcing negation was unfair.
Okay, I was gonna remind you to mention that just in case, but I'm glad you remembered.
Yes, always and forever.
Okay. There's nobody interesting that I know that is streaming at the moment, so I don't have anybody to raid. I guess I can raid this Connor Man 11.
Oh, he's a Vancouver local. You should do it if you can.
Okay, I'll raid Connor Man 11.
That's awesome.
And then,
yeah.
Oops. Yeah. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Newton.
Anytime, for sure.